Because I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Hello. What happened?
I don't know. I'm just tired.
She's a nap.
Again.
I do. It's been again.
I don't think she
Well,
took
I
one.
assume that's what you meant when you said you're getting up from the con, that you'd slept.
I wish.
No, I think she might get getting like walking up. I just left.
I
don't know.
left and I laid in bed for 15 minutes.
See?
And now I'm here. I like to
Literally.
sleep. But look, I got this.
Ooh, yum. Which one is that? The
I'll be
caramel
awake
one?
soon. Yeah, I'll be
I
awake
had-
soon.
I had a Celsius, so I'm right there with you. I haven't had one in a
Cheers!
while. Cheers. Well, I have
There's
a
no
beer now,
alcohol in
so
this.
oh my god, I almost spilled my water. Off to a great start.
Mm.
Straight over the stream just ends immediately.
I think I'm done.
The
Listen,
Can
I'm
you
next
done.
thing we all
imagine?
see is just water gushing at the camera.
And then next thing you know, we're like, we're back and we're sorry. I mean, that only happened once.
Whoopsies. But what's up, chat? X-Ray does need caffeine, Jonathan. She's got it. Don't worry, she's covered. She's got the
I got it.
Black Rifle, which is so good. My favorite one, I think, is the mocha one, like out of the cans. So good.
I think
I think
it's 300 milligrams of caffeine. So I may be bouncing off the walls soon.
Good. Good evening, Dan.
Hello, Don.
Whenever he says that, I just hear it like "good evening." That sounds a little bit more Russian than British, but I mean,
I was gonna say
Brazilian.
like Transylvanian. Good evening. I'm going
It's
to
actually
a
drink your
vampire.
blood.
Well, when I was
Advantage
playing
of
the Castlevania DLC for Dead by Daylight, everyone was like, "It's Dan Vask." And he's like, "I'm not a vampire." He was very offended.
I don't think he could be. He gets too much sun down there. All the vampires would live in a place like England where it just rains constantly.
It's true. So, are you a vampire? Is that what you're telling us?
British people are basically
no.
vampires, I think.
It's just impossible to tell.
Do you like garlic?
Because they're so white.
Well, like, yes. I mean, the best way to tell would be just to send us all on holiday. Like, if you go on an airport around here, you know they always have, like, the conveyor belts that push you along the floor. Well, what we get is, like, if you go to, such Spain or something, so you go into that terminal, you're going one way, and on the coming back, you just see a load of, like, bright red sunburnt people just coming the other way. Sometimes you kind of wonder, are they even going off on a plane on the other end, or do they just cook them on one end and send them back?
Cook them. Like a little British oven.
Yeah, this is just a microwave. Sends them back. We do not do well with sun because we never have it. So they immediately go, this is amazing. I need to spend all my time in this because I'm only here for a week and just
Need,
burn
like,
instantly.
What's
SPF
a
1000.
They probably don't even do, we never even really need to use suntan lotion over here. So they're not going to be used to applying it on there. It happened
There you go,
recently with
Dan.
Az. Well, I say recently. This year. It was like it went out, immediately got sunburnt on his holidays.
2 minutes later, he's like, "I'm never going out there again."
I think he even said he was using suntan lotion, but we get sun so little, I don't think it matters.
You need like the strongest SPF, which I don't even know what it is. With the highest SPF
We need
is.
umbrellas,
100.
just so we don't get sunburnt
think.
through the fabric.
I think you
Umbrellas.
just should wear a whole burqa with
Yeah.
We basically just need shade. We can tan in the shade, and then we have to work
I
up to
believe it.
being out in the sun.
You have an umbrella and
Just-
you use that going
just-
between tree shade.
I could just see you just standing by the window with the shades down to like I'm tanning.
We slowly work up from like blackout curtains to more transparent ones. As summer gets closer and closer, it's like, okay, I think I'm fine now. Walk
like
outside.
hiding from the sun's peeking in the room, and you're like in the corner, waiting for it not to hit you.
Maybe we were the origin of the vampire myth. It was just when we started smoking whenever we went outside. It's like, don't worry, we'll get used to it eventually.
You should just move to Alaska during their winter to get used to the sun.
It's still too hot for him,
Doesn't
probably.
Alaska have like summers that last 200, or is it winters that last about 200 days or something? I know the summer.
Yeah.
What-
Well, it's
do you
30
know the
days a
origin of-
night.
Do you know the origin of the vampire myth? There's a really cool one. That when they were
What?
opening up coffins, it's like there was something that happened, so they had to dig up one. They'd open up the coffin, and they would find scratch marks on the inside. And so they were like, well, it must be an undead person scratching, trying to get out of the thing. That's where it came from. Turns out, though, it's just gases build up inside corpses, and then you pop. And as you pop, your bones can scratch the top of the top of the casket.
That's
Wow. I know they used to
Mhm.
have bells,
The more you know.
bury dead, like people that weren't dead on accident, and like whoops, so they had bells and people would be pulling it. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
dead.
there was some people that
Can you
really
imagine
Oh
that?
yeah, I
about
heard
it.
about
Did you freaking imagine that being in a coffin, just like
very
bringing for your life to get
What?
out?
There have been people that
No,
woke
thank
up
you.
in the morgue because there's
Yep.
a thing which literally like slows your body down so it's still
the
alive. but-
puffer fish.
What?
The puffer fish. Do you remember
She's just
that?
shouting animals at me. It's like
No. It's the I forgot what toxin it was, and you have to eat it properly. Sometimes
Oh no,
Yeah.
I mean this is more like a medical condition, not that they were poisoned.
Oh,
It-
okay. never
It
mind.
was literally just that people thought they were dead when really it was just like really shallow breathing and stuff. Far more unlikely to happen now, but you go back when medical technology was just, well, I mean, he's not moving.
Well, pirates used to put
Can you
friggin'
kick him, see if he wakes up? If not, he's probably dead.
they used to put I'm drawing a blank right now. It was inside the thermos. Mercury. They used to put that on everything. Oh, you got
slow mercury poisoning.
yeah. They would even put it on like their junk and stuff. Like if they got some kind of STD, like oh okay.
Yeah, over
This
here,
is
they,
that right up.
Fix it.
I don't know,
You
I don't know if
saw
it's
it 'cause you were with me
mercury
at the
or...
pirate museum. They had a mechanism for injecting things into certain areas.
Shocking.
Yeah. This was like, what the heck happened?
That, I mean, technically,
They got
that could
mercury
involve...
docking.
That's more
Sounding.
squirting rather than
Sounding.
injecting, but you know.
It's not
There
docking,
was...
it's
I
sounding.
don't know whether it was mercury or lead, but I know the Victorians used to put that white kind of powder on their faces, because it was like the
Oh.
makeup of the time.
Lead.
And then, yeah, so that would get them. And then there was another one where in the factories they would like apply something to pottery, and they would lick it to put it onto the pottery itself, and that was made of lead, and so they were just slowly poisoning themselves. And there was a rumor. Oh no, the other one was, I think it was, you know where you like circle glasses and it makes a noise? Well, they would always be licking their fingers to lick, do like the musical instrument kind of thing.
Mhm.
And they would go insane. So people thought it was the music they were making was driving them all insane. And so if you went into this career, you'd only have a short career because the music was so beautiful, it kind of like drove you crazy or something. Now it turned out they just had lead on top of the glasses. Doesn't end well.
This is a very
Whoopsies.
informative, saucy guys. You're welcome.
I mean,
Don't
we're
lick
learning
the
history here.
Well,
Yeah.
these are the things that I
History
can't
with
remember anybody's
whiskey.
name. People will be like, who's this guy? I have no idea. Don't know who that celebrity is. Don't know what they've ever done. Anything that's unusual or interesting, I'll remember. Funny or interesting, I'll remember. How
Mhm.
random people killed themselves from lead.
I remember wasn't there? Yeah, it was Seinfeld. There was an episode where the one guy's fiance was sending out invitations to their wedding, and she licked too many envelopes and she died. Yeah. I remember laughing at that. But
That was a
it's-
lucky escape.
Wow.
Yeah. So don't lick
No,
envelopes.
that is a
guys.
sign, though. That is a sign that he shouldn't have married her because she invited too many guests. There's no way he invited those guests. That was her. She's like, I need to show off to as many people as possible. There's 1,000. I'm like, nobody needs 1,000 people. You don't know 1,000 people. You just want 1,000 people to show off to for a day. I'm the center of attention. You get what you... that should be a punishment. Every single letter that you lick should be horrific. And then you're like, well, I could probably put up with 10. and have far smaller weddings.
10 people show up. Disprew's like, you know what? Let's not even do this. I'm gonna be single
Too
again.
many.
Bye.
Too many.
10's
Well, no,
That's
I mean,
caveat.
too many.
the test would be like whether she could suffer the consequences of her actions. Like, well, the 15, but you know, I'm probably not gonna be able to walk for 3 weeks. I
Disprew, you remember Jay?
don't know. I can't put a name to the face.
Oh.
I've just got a giant blue ball in my mind for some reason. I don't know why.
That sounds like a
Oh.
personal problem.
Just one single ball.
Does Jay give you blue ball, but not balls, just blue ball?
Just one of them? Oh my god. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm not.
But the
Oh,
the
no.
really scary one is when I've got a green image in my head. That would have to be cut off.
That's too much. Before we even started, though, I'm guessing Ian he's somewhere in the desert living his best life. But 50 pounds, thank you, Ian. Now there's a valley I could
Are you
have done
calling
without
Scotland
seeing.
a wasteland?
No, he's on vacation in the desert. So, he is.
It's just like there's nothing in Scotland. It's just a barren wasteland of sand and misery.
But Tyson's thong, the memes are hilarious. That thread that I sent you guys, people are putting like the picture of his butt with like 90% buffering. Like this was all I seen for the whole.
Oh my god!
Why am
I've
I
seen some
seeing
great
it?
memes.
Of all the people that I expected to shove a naked man's arse in my feed, I didn't expect Melanie Mack. That was the account that I was not expecting random naked arses to
Well,
appear from.
If we have to see it, so do you.
I'm not looking at it. Thank you.
You
I've
didn't
been
see
I
off
it?
tried
of
not to
Twitter.
look at it.
Don't say that because I'll put it in the group chat right now.
No,
I
I
saw-
can ignore the group chat.
No!
Love you.
She's like, I'm leaving. She leaves.
Yeah, but you'll forget, and then next week you'll scroll, and there it'll be. It'd be like a minefield waiting to go off.
I know I wasn't ready for it though. I'm like, okay, well.
Well, I saw
Mike
other people
Tyson's
complaining
butt.
about it, so I knew it existed. And I'm like, yeah, but my feed isn't like this. And then it happened.
My feed is.
Mm.
Well, no, it's on like the I don't know how many people posted it on Netflix's tweets, but yeah, it was like buffering, Mike Tyson's butt, buffering.
I think one of my favorite
I saw the
tweets-
combo one of him and Lizzo in the same picture.
Now
But
that's
nobody needs
just
to see
rude,
this.
okay?
I'd
But
rather
don't look
see
as good-
Tyson than Lizzo.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, from that
Versus-
angle, they were pretty much the same.
Iron Cheeks, Mike. Sorry, that's funny. Anyways, oh, there's a new Mazda. Oh, like Cardi B.
Mazda
Oh.
B.
I don't know if that's Mazda's face or Blab's. I can't tell, but Mazda B.
Surely it'd be
But I
go
tell
like
it's
too
super
wham.
small.
Yeah,
can't see
thank
it.
you. I can't see it either. Every time we get a new Mazda, we all go.
I actually
What is
enlarged the
that?
picture just to see the Mazda.
He's like he's like Pokemon. There's a bunch of them.
Mm. evolving.
Wiley's been a member 15 months. Thank you, Wiley. And M8566 gifted 5 memberships. Thank you.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
queen.
Yes.
I haven't done it in a while.
Oh, we have to talk about something that disappointed poor Disparu.
Should we get into it now and break Mike's heart?
He's not even
Oh.
here. He's at the panel. So
Oh, okay. So we'll wait.
He's too big time.
He's too big time to flip his hair properly for Disparu. Boga Slawa, thank you for the 10. Hello. Mathian? I always forget what this is. Is that Norwegian?
Knockers.
Can't remember.
100 knockers.
Norwegian krona, I think.
Just rude,
You
like
want me
this
to
joke.
say the? Do you want me to
hey,
say
they
the
always
Korean?
come in even numbers.
Yeah,
Do you
you
want
know
me to
what?
say
I'm
the
not gonna be
Korean
able to say
dishes?
any of this, so you take it away.
Okay, Disparu, you seem to enjoy Korean TV shows and Korean culture. My wife is Korean. What is your favorite Korean dishes? I like budae-jjigae, I think. I don't know about that one. Bibimbap and tteokbokki. I like
Yep.
tteokbokki.
I would not
I
have
know
pronounced any of
absolutely
that.
nothing about Korean food. I
Bibimbap
just see
is
it in
really
all the
good,
TV
too.
shows.
Oh,
I-
Epic Mike is here!
We summoned him. Say his. You don't even have to say his name 3 times. You just say Mike, and he's like,
Yeah.
I heard
So
my name.
It always makes me laugh in Korean shows. They'll be doing something like saving the world. Aliens will be invading. They'll be sucked through into another hell dimension, and then they've got to go through a puzzle or they'll die in 3 days. And like, okay, let's stop and all have food first. Like every time, there's always scenes of them eating together. Like it's integral to the plot.
All right, let me pull it up. Mike, don't be sad, okay? This brew's really hard to make happy when it comes to your hair.
I gave
know
a very thorough brief. Wasn't followed.
All right, so-
sorry, Mike. I apparently didn't force you to do it correctly.
It entirely misses the point. It follows
So-
through on the words, but not the intention.
Part of the Disbrew lore is that he loves
Full
Mike's
3 out of
hair,
10.
but he wants to see more of a wiggle.
Yes.
I won't share the audio. I'll just share. Here you go.
A wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle.
Here you go.
See, now what he's doing there is what I did, but that's not what I wanted. The entire
That's what
point
she
was when Mike
said.
did it
Oh
before,
my
he like
God.
shook
You
his
do
head
kinda sound like a
quickly from
girl.
side to side,
You sound a
and
little
his
bit like
hair
a girl.
followed him perfectly, and so you got like this shake effect from his hair. Because anyone else's hair would like flop about and stuff, whereas his stayed perfectly static. It was more like a helmet that followed him perfectly. And if you do it slowly, there's no point to it.
He likes
X-ray
it
girl will
fast, is what
attest.
I'm hearing.
Yeah. Too slow, not furious enough. We could just vanish off the camera
Definitely.
instantaneously. It's like she had a hotkey. It's like, abort!
I
Abort!
hate it so. You guys are the worst.
You broke Mike's heart.
Sorry, Mike. I love you.
Yeah, go and be big time on your panel.
Go and be big time.
I don't have time for you peasants.
Obviously,
I
he
have a
does.
crowd to please.
He still came to say hi.
Yeah, from his panel. It's like, actually.
He's like, wait a minute, I heard my name. Probably just Brew talking
I
crap
sense
again.
a disturbance in the force. My hair is offended.
His hair is like a helmet now. Okay.
Yes. That is
And
actually
Discord
a
doesn't like
legal
it.
distinction over here. I think it is it Sikhs?
Seriously?
I think it's Sikhs that wrap their hair. And because they can't put a helmet on or anything, it legally classifies as a motorbike helmet.
What?
They try to claim that their hair is so tightly wrapped inside it, it works like a helmet. It's like not a
Wait.
bike one, it doesn't.
Wait, who? Sorry, I missed the. I was reading the
I
chat.
think it's Sikhs, but I'm not sure.
What's that? What's a Sikh?
It's a
Zeke?
religion.
What-
It's a type of. Sikh. Sikh.
Yes. I think I'm not sure
Search
of
it.
the exact religion.
I'm
I
gonna
know
look.
one of them. It is Sikhs. Yeah, they wrap their hair up. And so because they can't put helmets
Oh,
on,
Indian.
our
This is an
government made a
Indian
distinction
religion.
within the law that
It's not
classifies as a
Indian.
helmet.
It's not Indian.
It said Indian when I looked it up.
Might be in India, but it's not in the Indian religion. There's a couple of religions.
Yeah, that's like
in India.
talking about Christians and then
Is
going.
it SIKH or
English.
SIHK? What is it?
Sikh.
Have you never
Yeah.
heard of Sikhs before?
I don't think she's ever heard of Sikhs before.
I've seen the
This is her
picture.
first
Looks
time.
familiar. The first time hearing the word, yeah, but I've seen the picture. It just says monotheistic Indian religion. That's what it says. I don't know.
Okay.
It says it.
Well, it
I
might be
don't-
dominant in
No, it
India.
must
I actually
be
don't know.
true.
I know
don't
there's
know.
Hindu, there's Punjabi, Sikhs. There's a couple different religions in India.
Okay. Well, maybe
so,
it's just yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, I know
correct-
when I see the picture. So I
correct me
just
if I'm
never heard the
wrong,
word
chat.
before.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
okay.
know.
Oh, okay.
And if
I'm
someone
sorry-
gets
I'm
offended, I
sorry,
don't
I'm
care.
so stupid.
I'm
That's
like,
what my internet
it's
told
not
me.
mine. I know vague things.
it's okay. She just learned what a Sikh was today. Okay, guys.
I just thought they were. I'm not even gonna say it.
She seeked to find the Sikhs and then got confused.
Yeah.
Didn't Google it. She's sorted.
Oh, sorry. Punjab is a language. There we go. See,
I
even
thought that
made
was
a
wrong,
move.
but I'm not going to get into that
My
either, just in case
bad.
I'm wrong.
My bad.
He's like,
It
you
was
know
one
what,
of the
we're
things where
all
it's like, I'm pretty sure that's wrong, but I don't want to seem like the idiot, so I'm just going to let it pass.
Nah,
He's like,
I
we're all-
am the
we're all taking
idiot.
L's.
I
I'm not.
admit it.
Yeah, I
right
wasn't
now,
confident
so
enough
let's
to
just-
correct it. I just thought it was wrong.
Listen, you guys don't come here to get like educated. You come here to laugh, right? So
At us.
at us because we're not that smart. I forgot what I was watching. But I was talking with a friend about when I was in Buffalo, how most like shows and movies, if they write like a trio, there's the silly one, the silly dumb one kind of, and then the adventurous one, and then the logical one. And I'm like, is that why Saucy works so well? This proves the logical one. I'm the silly dumb one, and actually is the adventurous one because you're always traveling. Is that why we work? We're like,
Am I adventurous, really?
I think out of like both of us, probably more so because you travel a lot more than me. I don't know. I think we're both equally silly and adventurous. So like that, we kind of could fill both of those, me and you. But Disparu's definitely the logical one for sure.
I mean, you are the one that goes when someone's like, "Do you want to go to Peru?" Yes. Do you want to open a club? Yes. Do you want to do it? Yes.
I just say yes to
Like,
most things, not all things, but most things.
Nobody knows whether she's adventurous or someone just promised there was like vodka up there. It could be either one.
She's like, I don't know if I can make it. Well, there's going to be coffee and tequila. All right.
Yes.
All right.
I'm
there.
All right.
There is actually a waterfall, except it's not a waterfall. It's got tequila. We found the source of where tequila springs.
Oh,
I
I
need to
would
go.
love that. So, I honestly,
The tequila hot springs.
if I wasn't at a high altitude, I would have drank way more in Peru. But because the altitude makes you drunk so much quicker,
But that's a good thing.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd
It
have
was a
one
good
beer
thing,
and
but dehydration
done.
is a bad thing in those types of situations.
This is why when people are like, "Oh, you're lightweight," it's like, hang on, they get drunk cheaper than you do. That's not a flex. Like, they're the ones that spend basically nothing and can just focus on their level all night and just stay there. And you're like spending half the night wasting all your money to try and piss it up a wall. They're definitely winning.
Hold on. Let me get before we go into our first topic. We'll get all the topics today, guys. Don't worry. Let me get a couple of these super chats before we fall behind. Mark, thank you for the 50. According to Woke Informer on YouTube, Elon Musk and Ryan Reynolds have been talking about buying out either Disney or Marvel. I can only hope it's true, but I do remember Elon talking about looking into companies to buy.
I don't believe
That
that's
would be
true.
it's probably not, but what there was
He's
one
a
I
tech
seen
guy. He doesn't know entertainment.
Yeah, well, he would hire people that would take care of it, I think. But
yeah, but in his current companies, he knows the ins and outs of it, so he can explain how the rocket works. He can explain how the car works.
There's another one.
I don't think he. Oh God.
He squinted just for squinted at
I didn't even see the picture. I just saw the name. That was as horrific as I thought it'd be.
Do you want to read this one just for?
Not particularly.
Fine, I'll do it. Pokemaz for $1.99. I love coffee and tequila. Ooh woo.
Ooh.
That's his favorite person. Mazza loves Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
There
was probably a point in time where he was a top donator.
Oh yeah, for sure. He probably was one of the people that sold his house to fund his the bits and all that. War Machine, thank you for getting 5 memberships. The health minister of Belgium is back.
It's a good job that the profile pictures are spherical. That's all I'm saying.
Did y'all hear that I've been cast in the Penguin season 2 as a new villain, the Hippo? I beat people with big fat rolls.
I thought
it was going to be a remake of the what was it, like the classic horror film The Blob.
I mean,
just constantly ever expanding, can't be stopped.
And
it's only a
Raider
matter of time until it absorbs everything.
82, thank you, Raider.
Aww. Oh, I'm gonna need an update on my arm now with the.
I know. I should too, actually, because I have.
Oh, wait, you can't see it this way, anyways. Oh, yeah. Never mind.
We'd have to switch spots. Oh wait, but then you can't see mine. It'd have to be. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Whatever.
We'll figure it out.
The arms just come the wrong way. Like one's contorting to try and show it, and she's like doing the thumbs up. And it come out really messed up.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry. JK, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Burying my dog was more fun than Tyson vs. Paul. Oh no.
Bet you didn't script that one though.
Here, you know what? We'll start with that. We might as well start with that topic there. Did both of you watch it or neither of you watch it?
No.
No?
I don't
I'm the
watch
only one here that
wrestling because
watched
it's
it?
fake. Why would I watch a fake
So
boxing match?
it was like buffering and
That's probably just Logan Paul's brain, to be fair. I think he goes through most of his life buffering.
and it was
Hey,
so
probably.
late at night too. Like I was sleepy, okay?
It was midnight for us when it finally got. I only watched theirs. I heard the female one was way more interesting, but I watched it. I don't dislike boxing. I just don't really watch it much. But this, I'm like, you know what? This is gonna be, no matter how it turns out, this is gonna be a hot topic. It's gonna be like historical, possibly. It was pretty boring, but the one thing I will say is, I mean, Mike Tyson's 58, almost 60 years old, and he went for the 8 rounds, and he had like a brace on his knee and stuff. It's like, but he still, you know, he still held it down. But yeah, it wasn't particularly interesting. It would have been cool to see him win, but everyone's saying it's probably scripted, which it probably is. Because he got like 25 million or something like that. So it's like basically he got 25 million to sit there and dance around the ring and throw a couple punches for 12 minutes. That sounds like a win to me.
The reason why I say it
really.
is because Tyson released training videos beforehand, and I didn't watch the fight, but everyone says this is entirely different to how he performed in the fight. So that's suspicious.
Yeah, no, you're right. I
We can
didn't
see
see
your
those
windows.
before. Oh, oops, I meant to minimize that.
We can see all your windows. None of this is correct.
Sorry. What happened to the Tyson?
But
I exited out on
the
accident?
thing was, and apparently it's a different Paul brother. I can't. They all look the same to me.
There's Logan.
But one of them was
and
in a
Jake.
boxing match, and if you watch the video, he gets knocked out, and he didn't get
There
up
we go.
again. And
Do they both box? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was this guy, but the comments said it was the other one. Never looked into it to check. But either way, you can see this guy and get knocked out on camera, and then the other boxer is literally hugging him and holding him up, and he's just like passed out on his shoulder, and he's getting held up all the time, and then he eventually comes around and they continue the fight. That to me implies that fight was scripted, and if that one is, I think they all are.
This one definitely, it probably is. I know. I think the majority of people wanted to see Tyson knock him out, especially when
It would have been so fun to see him knocked out.
That would have been good to see because he has what 44 KOs. Tyson, I think. Jake Paul. I almost said Logan Paul. See, I don't know. He has like 4.
They all they're the same to me, to be honest.
If Jake Paul would have went against 27-year-old Tyson, even like 40 or 45-year-old Tyson, he probably would have massacred him. But he's almost 60, so it's like, but I don't know. You're right though. I disprove because I saw that video today. I hadn't watched any of the training. I didn't keep up with it, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch the fight just because. I didn't see what I wanted, but you know, it was whatever. I'll stick by that Tyson like still held his own for being almost 60 years old against a 27-year-old.
I don't think the age matters that much.
His training
does though. I'm sorry.
It matters. It matters if he was in a professional boxing ring against other professionals who are all at the peak of their game, then it matters. If you're against some random TikToker, then you being 60 and a professional doesn't matter.
He knows how to fight.
Yeah,
he does know how to fight.
Well, then they wouldn't need to be scripted, would they? If that was really the case. Because what you have is the problem that Tyson made a 16 million and is out. But this guy has to come back and do another fight and another fight. So he needs that story of him win. Because the moment he loses, it's over. Like, other people won't want to fight him again, or they'd need some kind of new narrative to fit into it. And so he has to be the one that's always like, yeah, look, I'm the don't you want to challenge the champion? Because he wants a career afterwards. Whereas Tyson doesn't, because he's 60. So he doesn't mind if he's like, I'll just hold back.
I don't know. I think time matters. Like your equilibrium's not right, you know. And he had the brace on, which he even said he's like, I'm not using. He didn't want to lean on that. Like they said something to him, Tyson, about it. Like you got a brace on. He's like, yeah, but I'm not. That's not why I lost. Like you know, he didn't want to blame it on that. It probably was scripted, but because I feel like even for his age, Tyson probably still has a mean hook. Because a couple of times he hit him, like the first 2 rounds, he hit him a couple times. I was like, okay, wait a minute.
And then realized he'd win. I think in these kind of fights, if you're a professional, you can very quickly weigh up your opponent and just know whether you're better.
So the other thing that you have to
the
other thing you have to remember with boxing is that there is a technical aspect to it with points. And so it doesn't matter if it looks like you won as long as you have the points to win as well. Now, I didn't watch this fight, but
It was
I do know.
close. The points.
Was it?
It was
Which
like
is also
70,
what
74. Something like
it's
that.
also it's also what you do if you did want to do this, because neither of them would want to be humiliated. It's like, look, I'll let you win, but you're not knocking me out. It's like, because that'd be humiliating. It's like I just got knocked out by some
Yeah.
random.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I do
agree with
think that
this.
age matters. Like when you go running as a 20-year-old versus a 50-year-old, your knees, your hips, the stamina, the movement, the flexibility that you have in your
But
body
you
is
could see
just
in his
not
training
there.
video, he hits like a
That's
trot.
just that's a snippet. I think if Tyson were on the streets and fighting him, he would win. But
Yeah.
this is a boxing match. It's different.
Yeah. I like the memes that was like there was the one Family Guy one where it's like Lois is staring at pills that she wants to take. It's like Tyson staring at Paul's left ear, like he wants to bite it. He said it. People were. Did you hear that? Oh, you guys didn't watch. So there was a moment where the crowd actually laughed because during the match he kind of was like biting his glove a little bit, Tyson, and the announcer or whoever that was interviewing him asked about that, and he was like, "I have a biting fixation or something like that." The crowd actually giggled a little because it's like, yeah, we know, Mike.
Yeah. Guy's lucky he made it out with all his organs, let alone his ears.
But yeah, no, I think
This is the kind of guy that would
right.
turn up to a boxing ring with some fava beans and nice Chianti.
I think he's right, or X-Ray's right, that he would have won, like if they were on the street, because he could have, like, I don't know, kind of fought dirty a little
he
bit.
can do
No
whatever
rules.
he wants. You don't have to
Yeah.
do the proper boxing. You don't have gloves on. Those little things do matter in an actual real life fight. So
Well, the issue with boxing gloves is I believe the fatality rate went up because it allows you to hit harder. So bare knuckle boxing is actually safer, because you can't hit as hard because it'll just break your own hand, kind of thing.
Yeah. And
This is like with
Hirokami,
the
thank you
helmets,
for
wasn't
the
it? They put helmets on
mixed
to protect
point.
their brain, and then find out the helmets were amplifying the damage to their heads. It was wild.
Thank you for the 5, Hirokami, and a good point. I'm just older than Gary, but I don't drink anymore because I have enough trouble getting out of bed without a hangover.
Yeah, it hits you a lot worse the more you get older.
Yeah.
this was like, I know.
Yeah,
Same thing. I know.
I know the struggle. That's why I went to. That's why I went to whiskey. Evolve and adapt.
Elric, thank you for being a member for 4 months. Is this for watching Arcane of, what is it, Frieren? Freerun. Okay, Beyond Journey's End. You all are great. Thanks for all you do. Thank you. Are you watching that, Dispro?
Freerun's been on the list for a long time. I always forget about it when I'm looking at the next thing. Arcane, I've not seen. What's the last one
I
watched?
have
I'd have to
been
look.
I rewatched Arcane season 1. Finally finished it on to season 2. I'm so excited. I hope it's good.
I have it on
I
the
know that
list. That's
the
the one that
current
wait,
one I'm going through
that's
is,
League of Legends or something, right?
League of
The
Legends. Yep.
Arcane? Yeah. Okay, I never played it.
Yep. I actually saw a few jinxes at the con. So it obviously has made at least some sort of cultural impact that people are cosplaying it. So that's how
Yeah,
at least I think you can tell
the
if it's
current one I'm
healthy.
going through is Evangelion, but before that I was watching Psycho Pass, which was surprisingly good. I didn't like it at first, but it caught on.
You want to read this one, Dispro? It's for you. The dad joke.
Keishan Corey, member for 17 months. I spent my entire life savings on pasta. It was worth every pen.
Penne.
Hey.
It's a type of
We call it
pasta.
Pen.
You call
Renee,
it pen?
I don't know.
what is wrong with you?
I'd call it pen.
I call it pen. All right.
I
well, the
did like
joke
an
didn't hit.
F&T when Gary
Yes,
got
he
to name Hercule Poirot. And was just like, he didn't even try and pronounce it. It's like, I don't know what this means. I just it's quite a popular
Sometimes you
show
just-
over here.
Sometimes you just have to. You had to do that because, like, if
I
you
think he
pretend to
would
know,
have said
that's when you
something
look
like
dumb.
Hercules parrot or something. I think that's
That's
probably
probably what I
what
would
would
have
have
said.
come out.
Yeah. Sergeant Curtis Schultz, Star Wars Squawk Box for
That
10.
is a long name.
It is. Great show as
Can
always.
you imagine
Go
replying
Detroit
to him in a
Lions.
chat? And you have to put at, and then it's just the entire first line is his name.
Yeah. I I'm usually on my phone. That's why, like, when people say hi to me, like when I hop in someone's chat and say hi, I usually just say hello, chat, because it would take me way too long to.
Yes, I've waited before to be like, is that all of them? You go, ahoy, and tag them, and then someone go, ahoy, Disbrew. Like, oh no.
That's why
No,
you
no,
just
no, no.
collectively say hi to all of them.
Yeah.
Because
You know what? I'm defeated when I just go ahoy, and then it's just like that'll apply to everybody.
the whole chat's just a Spruce saying hi to 20 people.
There have
As
been
is
times
what-
where that's happened. Because you reach a point where it's like, well, I've said ahoy to everybody else, and then there's the next one. It's like, it'll just
You
look
know,
as if I'm targeting them if I don't.
Disbrew, there's a video that comes out the next day.
He doesn't
Disbrew
discriminate.
Hates me. He hates me. He didn't say hi to me, and then you got a beef with someone you don't even know on the internet.
Wow.
Monkey eyebrow for 2. Hello there, ladies, and Wispy.
Wispy.
The ghost.
Yup. I loved when we introduced Dispy Wispy.
He's a man of
It still
many names.
periodically gets brought up. Someone will
I
chat us
know.
just mention Dispy Wispy randomly.
Because when Disbrew died in his one of our first campaigns, I got a
I was
ghost.
murdered by Ryan. I didn't
Yes.
die.
Yeah. So I got a ghost like summon, and I named it Dispy Wispy in ode to him being dead by
Aw.
Ryan.
And then a
Sorry.
Rudai would try and put on an English accent and come up with lines.
It was funny. It was very good.
Bogoslava. Did I say that right? Bogoslava? I think it's Boga. I don't know. But thank you for the $2 and the smirky face. I don't know. I'll try and do it. It's like a side smirk. Thank you.
Is that the rule? If anyone puts an emote, Wicked has to try and impersonate it.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Do it one more time. I want to see.
I don't know. Was there an eyebrow up? I don't remember now. Nathan. I keep wanting to say Nathan. Mathian. Thank you for
Isn't
the
it
200.
This
Am I saying it
200,
wrong?
we've doubled 200 knockers this time.
Knockers?
Knockers are everywhere.
I would love 200 knockers.
Mhm.
No,
This is
wait,
what
no,
I mean. They
regret
always
that.
have to come in even numbers.
Instant regret.
There's no such thing as a
Instant
one knocker
regret.
bill.
It has to be at least double.
Mm.
Korean
get
food is great, and
comfortable.
don't forget the soji. How do you pronounce that? Soju.
Soju.
Love the stream. Thank you.
Soji.
It's just how I think it was Vincenzo. They always did whenever they went and started eating, you knew that was the comedy scene. Because it was like the social element of that's what I like about Korean stuff is they will mix genres in one TV series, but it'll be in very specific scenes with almost like tells of what the tone of the scene will be. And whenever they were eating food, that was like the comedy social bit. And it was the same in oh, I can't remember. I'd have to look it up what it was on Netflix. I've spoken about it before, but that had lots of different ones, and there were sometimes where it's just like, here's the romance scene, but they just play the romance music, and it'd just be 2 people up a corner somewhere. It's like, well, we get the romance over with, now back to the fighting.
You want to read this one, Disbrew? I want to hear you say this.
The Goonies for $1.99. Disbrew, we hashtag gooning for real for reals.
For real, for real.
I
real,
went
for
to the
real.
Mossa stream, and it was just, everyone was gooning constantly. And then they
I don't know
started
what it
trying to
means.
come up with various different slang. All the modern slang. And so I started adding new ones, and Mossa didn't even know what it was. I was really disappointed. He's out of touch. He didn't even know what Gel King was.
I'm pretty sure he's a
What's-
cowboy now that penguins
what's a
over.
Gel
Someone
King?
said that. Yeah, what is a gel king?
I'd have to show you this. There's a song, and I don't think it'd get.
Will we get
copyrighted
hit
'cause
for
it's-
it?
Well, it's just a guy on, I think it was TikTok or something, singing, but his song is basically every bit of new millennial crap in a song. So he's like,
Is it a
edging
good
his
song?
jelk. Well, I mean, the thing with music is it's a very basic structure, so it's a catchy tune.
Uh-huh.
I think it's like country style, but I don't really know American styles of music.
Oh,
But it had
okay.
loads of stuff. Like, I still don't know what a gyat is.
Yeah. I just like saying it. Yeah.
I think jelk is dancing, but I'm not sure.
Get? Isn't that like a gun? A gat?
Should we
Yeah,
should we
what's gat? I know what a
Urban
gat is.
Dictionary?
Well, we could do like a guessing game. The song does have subtitles, so even if you didn't want to play the song, you could flick through and see the different lines that he's saying.
okay.
Oops.
What do
meant
you
to click
think
on this. Hold
gyat
on.
means? G-Y-A-T.
Is that what it means?
Yeah.
A booty?
Well, if I play the song, it will come in like context, so it'll give a bit more clues. But
Okay.
I would imagine just by the word alone, it's probably some kind of body part.
Big
Yeah,
booty?
a gyat is a fat booty.
Oh, okay.
Right? Is
don't know about jelk.
dancing though? That's the thing that I'm not sure. Because it is like
I don't know these
Jelq.
words.
Well, Mozza didn't even know what it was. And you know what Mozza's like? He can't read the English language as it is. So he just skips the word. And I think he just thought it was normal English. He didn't even know it was an unusual word. He probably just knew he didn't know it. So, well, that's normal.
I don't know. Well, he's someone told me in my chat the other day that he's a cowboy now. I guess maybe because Penguin's over, he doesn't want to be a gangster anymore. I don't know.
Does he have a
Did he get
gyat?
defeated?
Does he have a
Like, is it real
Oh, God.
now?
I've just found out what Jalking... No.
Don't look it up. It must be bad if he's telling us not to. Normally, he's like, you know what? Look it up. I'm not looking it up. Speaking of gyat.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is disturbing. Oh my God. Why? Why?
Just remember what they took from you boys. Oh, goodness.
Just remember what you took from me just now, Mozza Pelosi.
Her innocence.
That went a long time ago.
Redneck Gooner Mazda for 5. It's what the Mazda militia does, Dispute Whipsy. We gooning for real, for real.
For real, for reals. Yeah.
We
You
gooning.
gotta say for real, for real.
For real, for reals.
He has to say it proper no matter what. For real,
Okay,
for
okay.
real.
Guys. The goon has the gyat. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't.
I think you'd
What does
be
the goon
gooning
mean
over
again? I
Gat.
don't remember. I
I'm
don't
I'm gooning over the gyat.
Yeah.
know.
You're edging your gel because you're gooning over your Gat.
We
I don't
should.
want to know what jelking is.
I'm not gonna say it 'cause I don't know what
if
it
it's used
means.
in that context.
I'm going to screenshot it and put it.
Oh, no.
no.
Well, this brew does that. Hirokami, thank you for another 5. And altitude in Peru, there's less oxygen, so you would be drinking while half drunk from alt sickness. Oh.
Oh, so I'm just naturally drunk already, just being in Peru.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm hearing. I'm
Oh,
at my
and there's another one.
baseline.
There's Kojima Muzz. Okay, that kind of fits. Kojima Muzz.
Actually, that works really
ca-
well, actually.
He just looks pissed off. It's like, look,
He looks British.
someone took my milk out of the fridge again.
Banana milk.
They didn't even have any pies at the bakery. Can you believe it?
Disparu, how would you feel about the possibility of one day removing interactions in video games? I think this would give a better experience. For real, for real.
I don't know what you mean by interactions. Do you mean like where you reach what they call quick time events, where an event happens and it's like press D, and then it just automatically does it for you? If so, I would never have put them in. I think they're only put in for console games because they're like, well, they can't control the characters properly. They've got 2 thumbsticks. They better press a button. Anything that removes direct control of your character, I'm against. Like, I'm against faulting and everything. You should just have a jump button that works correctly. You savages. I'd literally remove any of that kind of automation from games.
Interesting. Maz the fire starter for $1.99. Jake would not defeat my style. Oh my god, it's really Mazda too, actually. I thought it was just
I mean, what would his style be? Would he judging by the fire starter, he'd just walk in there with a Molotov cocktail. So he'd probably win, yeah. The other guy's turning up for a boxing fight,
This is awful. The lipstick just like sends it on another level here. Pokemaz for $4.99.
Nobody needed to see Pokemon again.
The least Mike could have done.
That picture is cursed.
It is a cursed image.
It's not worse than Nancy Pelosi.
That's true. The lipstick is just a little much, though. I can't.
Well, at
The
least
Mike-
Nancy Pelosi isn't trying to be attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Pokemaz is trying real
bikini
hard.
top, though, with the Mazda face, that's just...
Okay, maybe I didn't see the Nancy Pelosi picture.
It was boobs.
No, there's a lot of boobs.
No, I didn't see that one then. I just assumed it was Nancy Pelosi with the face like that.
Nope,
I didn't know they
they were
dressed her up.
knockers.
Oh.
It was
200
older
knockers.
knockers.
Well, you think they're 200 knockers, but really it's just because they're so far down to the ground you can't tell where
It's
they
all the
end.
extra wrinkles.
Yeah. It's like multiple chins, but it's just like it's basically 1,000
Flunkies?
years of playing swing football whenever she goes to the bathroom.
Oh my god.
Look, she doesn't buy new bras, she just buys new socks.
Uh,
I can't. I can't.
Why she wears boots? It's the only thing that'll fit them in.
Ah. Yeah.
Knee
You just tuck
highs.
them in your pants.
Well, no, because then it'll look like you've got. Then she'll just look fat. There'll be like a third ring around her, where she tucks them in her shoes. At least you'll have people from her generation going, "Ooh, that is a shapely ankle."
Do your boobs hang low? Do they wobble to your
Her
ankles?
Oh. This is literally, can you toss them over your shoulder? Like use them as a scarf.
Sorry, chat. So the least
I like how,
Mike could have done-
Wicked's like, this is pure savagery. I need to apologize to the good people
So sorry.
of
that-
YouTube
Yeah.
for
I'm
their
not sorry.
indecency.
The
Never
least Mike could
sorry.
have done if he was going to show us all his boot like that is drop his link in the bio. Oh my goodness. Jake Stanley, thank you for the 2. You will love Freerin Disbrew. It's so well done.
I've heard good things about it. It's just I don't know. I went into a bit of a sci-fi spree, and that's why I watched, what was it, Psycho, whatever it was, because it sounded
Psycho?
interesting.
Mob
No,
Psycho or no?
Psychopaths. It's about
Oh.
a world where essentially a computer system has taken over, and it has the ability to read your, I suppose aura would be like a term for it, and so it's
I just
created
looked
a
in the group
perfect system.
chat.
It's created a perfect system where it can judge criminality by the aura, and so anyone who's got a criminal aura just gets arrested and taken out of society because you're damaging society. But then the further it goes on, it's like, well, detectives also have the same aura because they think like criminals, and thinking like a criminal is enough to make you appear like a criminal because you have the same brainwaves and mindset, and so the same aura. So the only people around in society are the ones that aren't bothered by anything, and so you get a bit of an emotional thing, and then it goes off in a different direction afterwards. And there's a lot of kind of philosophy about the meaning of humanity and like the way that this can change people. It's really interesting. I prefer those kind of animes a lot.
Thank you for dropping that definition in the group chat, by the way. The first thing that comes to mind is Austin Powers, though.
I thought you
know-
needed to know it.
You know what I'm talking about, though? Austin Powers is the thing that he has on him. I'm not going to say it on stream.
I did not know that's how it's
I'm-
spelt.
Yeah, JELQ. Yeah.
Oh.
I've not seen Austin Powers in a long time. I think I've seen all of them, but it
Drop
was
in the private chat.
I can't really remember them. I only remember bits of them. Like, I've lost my mojo, and what was the other guy? He's like, can I eat this? It's like, no, you sick Dutch bastard. I mean, it's like that. I remember specific moments of the movies. Molly, 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 Molly.
There you go.
I don't know why you've just put that in the chat, Wicked. I didn't
That's what
expect you
he- 'cause he
to. I don't know why it's
had
happened,
that.
but here we are. We are living in a brave new dimension now.
That's from Austin Powers.
Like, if X-Ray Girl had said it, I would have been like, I don't know what that's referring to, but it wouldn't have been a surprise as such. But
But for
Wicked
you, it
coming out with that
totally
was wild.
is.
Well, okay.
Yeah. We could put a version of Jelking in the.
The slurs were a step too far, though. I've got to
I'm sorry. I'll leave. Bye.
admit. You're always wondering, it's like, have I actually pushed it too far this time?
I'll just leave and let you guys take over.
And this is the last Saucy Saturday.
This was like the people will go back and watch the video and be like, that's the moment she snapped.
I just love how the chat is dropping a bunch of Austin Powers quotes now. Oh my gosh, this one. Okay, that's enough. Get it together, chat. It's my fault. I said it. Okay, so for the Rachel Zegler stuff, should I play? I didn't see this video yet. Should I play the video first or the
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
it?
because I think this started it.
Did it? Okay, because I know
I'm not sure,
she
but I
put
think
in her stories on Instagram is she had all those like screenshot. Well, people screenshotted her talking crap.
because this is before everything happened. So I think obviously
You know she's serious when she's got the Shrek kissing her thing on there. All right.
yeah,
It
Wayne
literally
Rooney.
looks so stupid.
You remind me. I gotta send you guys something really
Well,
funny.
The
after
thing is
this.
with a lot of these filters is they won't just have like Shrek on you, but they'll alter your face. So a lot of women have really, really stupid filters of like a crown on them or something. They're not wearing it for the crown. They're wearing it because
Some
they
are
like the way it does their
crazy.
makeup.
I've
It
like
just
gone
makes their
through
skin
them.
smoother.
Well, not just that, but there's some that literally like I'll sit there and like go through them just like for fun to see like cool ones, and it'll put like a pound of makeup on me. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, what?
And they
Like,
change your face shape and everything.
Yeah.
There was a trend at one point where it was a load of women who were basically, this new filter's wild, I need to try it. And so some of them would start with filter on, others would start with themselves, and then they'd put it on. But every single time I saw it, the same effect happened. They'd be like, this is how I look normally. They put the filter on. Like, oh. And then you could see them like moving around, looking at themselves, and then they turn it off. You could see the disappointment in their face. It was like, it really hurt them, the fact that they didn't look like that, because they'd just seen what they could have been. And it like, that was the moment, these filters are horrific. They are actually doing mental damage to people, because like you could see it in real time with every single person. Now I know what I could have been, and they hated it.
I always talk to, especially like I have nieces and nephews and stuff, but anybody like Gen Z and younger who are growing up in the social media age, could you imagine being in middle school, grammar school with all this, like seeing the Kardashian effect and stuff and being like, oh, I wish I looked like that. Like we were just normal kids, right? We didn't go all out. We didn't wear makeup. I know I didn't as a kid. But these girls are getting like these expensive palettes that even I wouldn't buy now as an adult. And I'm like, but they're looking at it and their body dysmorphia is probably so much worse these days for kids.
Oh,
because
you're
they
comparing
see,
it to social media. They
That's what
grew
I
up
mean.
with
Like
social media.
Like I remember my younger sister, she's very, very cute. She's a teenager, but she's like when she was, we'll say like, I don't know, a few years ago, I was visiting her and she showed me a picture of Kylie Jenner. She's like, isn't she like beautiful? And I didn't want to be like super negative and be a jerk, be like, that's all fake. But I was just like, well, I was like, you're natural. You're prettier than her. So like, that's like the nicest thing I could say. Cause I'm like, please don't fall for this crap. And I don't think she is.
I don't
going
even
to,
like
but,
that
like,
American. It's a very specific, like Californian American look, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
It looks awful. Like with the fake eyebrows and everything, I think it looks horrific. But I've seen a lot of people who's like, no, this is beautiful. It's like, I think that's a very specific cultural thing. But also, there's a massive distinction between looking in a catalog at a hot person and being like, I want to be that, to seeing that projected onto your own face in real time where you can look around and see it as if you're looking in a mirror. That's got to be way more mentally impactful, because then you experience the loss afterwards, as well as just the attraction of, I want to be this. And you have an active thing that you can show someone and be, you should turn me into this, because I've seen it and I want to be this all the time.
And that's why it's getting so much worse now. I mean, Hollywood's always gotten, work done and stuff. But back when we were kids and like, the golden age, we'll say, of Hollywood, right? Old Hollywood, when they got work done, you didn't really notice it. It was tiny little things, but now it's just like, boom, like they're getting to like that
and they all
buckle
look
fat
the
removal.
same.
The buckle fat removal, I don't get that. You want fat in your face to look younger. Like, why are you trying to make yourself look like you're 60 years old when you're 25?
I actually think that's due to the discrimination in Hollywood, that what's happened is all throughout Hollywood's history, attractive young women have had priority because that's what everybody wants. But now, attractive young women are being actively discriminated against. So they've been going for older and older women because men don't like that. And so the buccal fat removal is making you look more mature. It's aging you up so that you can then fit that what Hollywood's after. I think all surgery is essentially you making yourself into what you think other people want. And so you can kind of tell their sphere of what's influential just by what they make themselves do, whether it works or not.
And the messed up part of this is that trends always change. When I was a teenager and, before early 2000s, everything has changed in each generation. But when we were growing up, it wasn't like you didn't alter your body. You just changed the way you do your makeup, the kind of clothes you wear, maybe the way you dye or cut your hair. But these people are making alterations to their body now, and they're going to regret it, because what are they going to do when they get that big butt? And then it's like, oh, not having a big butt, it's not in anymore. So you get it removed, and oh wait, having a big butt is back in again. So you're gonna get it. Like get it done again.
It's not
like,
good for
that's-
your skin to
No, it's-
do that,
no.
expand and detract. And not everyone has the means or the funds to be able to go do the things that the Jenners and Kardashians are doing, because obviously some of them now are taking the implants out, and you're like,
Yep. Like
In
Kylie, right?
Fa-
She's getting
in
rid of the lip
Farscape-
stuff, and she looks older now because it's like your skin sags when you get.
In Farscape, there's a blue woman that leaves in one of the series. And the reason she leaves is because she was putting on all this makeup, not just on her face, but on the rest of her body. Like, because she was like, she was basically like an adult priest kind of thing. So she wore very skimpy clothes. So there was makeup on a lot of her body, and she actually had to quit because it was killing her putting the makeup on. It was poisoning her kidneys, and it couldn't process all of the stuff. So she had to leave and said she'd never go back. And then they had another character in who wore a bit more kind of stuff in, and you saw over the series she was putting on more clothes so they wouldn't have to put as much makeup on her. So it's definitely bad for you. But when I was a teen, and I think in the 90s as well, the movement was, it was all about the natural look. That basically you would put on a bit of makeup, but if anyone could tell that you put makeup on, you'd put too much on. And I think I must have internalized that, or it's what I prefer naturally, because I despise the now people make themselves look more like sculpted. They make themselves look
Like the
plastic,
contouring
even when they
and
don't have the
stuff,
surgery.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, and it's funny because last time I went into like a makeup place to order like get some eyeshadow and stuff, the girl said to me, because I told her what I was looking for, and she's like, "Oh, so you like the '90s look?" And that is that look, like where it's very minimal. I don't put a lot
Yeah,
on.
it's meant to
and I'm like,
enhance, not
I think it looks better that
rearrange.
way. I don't like, so I like to play with makeup and everything.
But
like
I've
you know,
seen
'cause
women
I like to
draw
do the
another face
cosplays
on
and
their
stuff,
face.
But yeah, but yes,
those
Blams, we're-
Asian makeup, like,
Yes.
oh
Yeah.
my
Oh.
god, it's insane.
They're like, get
what
ready
they
with
can
me,
do.
and
about
they just start,
BBLs.
and I'm like, how many products do you have? But it's basically a work of art. I think this is why women don't make art. They do. They just make it on their own face. I think actually, if they started painting pictures, they'd be really good at it.
I think so.
No,
I think
really,
the makeup
true.
is great. Like I do like watching certain people. Like even myself, I do stuff, but it's for cosplays and stuff to make myself look like that character. But every day, like it's very minimal. I don't like doing too much. I just think it also can make you look older too. Like if a girl in her 20s is like caking on that smoky eye and the dark lip and all that, you look 10 years older. So
Like, I
Yeah.
think the Sistine Chapel was just created because he didn't put makeup on. Otherwise, all of that effort would have been just going on his own face, and we never would have had like historic
Mention
monuments.
this. Oh, I can. Here we go. I'm
I
sorry,
just like
the
a
frickin' Shrek.
nice dewy look, just moisturized, and then because
Demure.
Oh, demure.
No, Mike always says this kind of thing. He's like, moisturized in my lane. It's like, what? I don't know. He knows it
I've
better
never
than me.
heard that.
Yeah, apparently it's like a TikTok thing. It's like moisturized, moderated, and like it's a whole string of things.
I don't
Mike
go
is
on
just
TikTok
living
enough.
his best life. I don't have TikTok anymore, so I don't know. I'm not cool.
He's living his best life unless he has his hair shaking. Then Disbrew's like, no, you're doing it wrong.
I heard
I'm
his
not gonna
heart
lie
break
to
all the way
him.
over
Not his
here.
best work.
That's what she said.
Yeah, too slow, not furious enough.
Wow.
When they
Disbrew likes
hang
it fast
out-
and furious.
8.
when they hang out, Mike is gonna get so he's just gonna walk away from Disbrew. I feel like
Preferably in a car.
He's gonna be recording him, and he's gonna be like, "No, I need more shake, not like that. No, stop, keep going.
Yes.
No, stop." He's gonna be
Shake
like,
I'll be a
done."
director.
Shake faster! God dang it!
And he'll be like, no, I can't do it. I'd say, I need to break it. Say,
It's
good
not
for you! Good for you!
They're gonna be arguing. They're gonna end up like having a YouTube feud over his hair.
I'm going as like every Hollywood rant into one thing. Like, you don't understand. We're saving lives here, Mark.
This is
Mike.
gonna- he's gonna-
This is
Mark,
we're saving
Mark.
lives. Yeah,
He's
Mark's
gonna-
getting involved. He starts
No,
hitting him
Mark's
with his
part of it.
leg.
He's in between you guys, like cut it out, and this Ruth slams down the script. It's like I can't work like this.
These are
'Cause they're
bad
making a
working
I
movie
thought
now,
I
I
was
don't know.
working with artists, not peasants.
I feel like Disbrew would be a very
I'd be a very good diva.
yeah.
Uh,
I
I only
can't-
want
I think I
red
was born in the
Smarties
wrong
in my
body. I was
bowl.
born to be a diva.
He'd be like, I need 4 Oreos. Anything more than that, I will go into a sugar coma. He goes in, there's 6 Oreos. He's like, knocks them all on the ground. I'm
This
like,
is disgusting. I'm
He flips the
surrounded by
table over.
incompetence. It's like just frisbees them across the room.
I was told, so I want to play Space Marine soon. I finally did the intro, whatever, the beginning. And I was talking about it on my stream yesterday. I'm like, yeah, this Disparu. I'm like, X-Ray when she comes home someday. And it was Jay. He was like, be
She'll be
careful.
gone the next day.
No, it was Jay. He was like, be careful. I was like, what, playing with this brew? He's like, yeah. I was like, what? He's like, he yells.
I gave him PTSD. I played with him like twice.
I said that. I was like, he doesn't yell at me. I'm a girl. And then everyone just started laughing. I was like, well, he doesn't. He's not gonna yell at me like he does the boys.
Yes.
He totally yells at you. Oh, I think he would.
I think he would. No, he's not gonna yell at me.
Steph told me that she said, I knew you were pissed off with me when you started to do the retard voice. And I was like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
He just can't help
There was a
it.
time where basically it was so easy. All you had to do is you'd scan and then you'd move and then you'd scan. You've played the back rooms, so the dot areas.
Not yet. I will.
No, but X-Ray has. It's like where you
Okay.
just scan, dots appear, but you can't see the walls, but you put dots on the walls, and that's how you work it out. I was a big red dot on a scanner that she had. You just had to follow the dot. I did everything else every time she'd get lost. And so I'm at the exit, and I'm like, he will come for me and kill me. I just need you to die. And then she's like, I can't follow you. I'm like, I can't follow you. And I just started going, like, I just need you to die so we can move on to the next level.
And just
And we've
logs
done this
out.
like
She's like,
7
hello?
times. Every time I'm like, I'm leaving now. You need to follow me. She's like, okay. And then I'd leave and never followed me. Every time. We were in a room where the lights switched off. I immediately sought cover and she just stood in the middle of the room. It's like, I have no survival instinct at all. And she just died. It's like, no, it didn't even occur to me that I needed to hide.
Well, women, we're not good with directions, okay? That's why guys have to take the lead.
Well, it's not even direct. I don't think it takes direction to know. We're in a horror game. The lights have just gone off. You should probably hide. Like, put 2 and 2 together.
Oopsies.
Okay, let's finally play this because I've been staring at freaking Shrek.
Yeah, it just looks like she's posing for a photo shoot here.
She looks like she's enjoying it a little too
She
much.
probably
in this moment.
is. She's a freaking weirdo. Okay, here we go.
This social media app to say that we have
Her dog just attacked her.
Yeah.
face.
a really important presidential election coming up, and Lenny is very eager for you to vote for Kamala Harris.
Ugh,
And it's actually
Oh, it gets
non-negotiable.
I'm sure it does.
Our rights are on the line, folks.
I'm a
Our
smart cow.
reproductive rights.
Why
Rights
does
are on
it
the
feel like
line.
she's ready to like kill you if like you
She's
don't?
No,
like
that's
Joker
exactly
there.
what it is. You need to do it. It's not optional. You need to do. I'm fake pretending to be nice, but really, I despise
I'm
you.
threatening
Hello.
you.
Hollywood
this
needs
is
you to vote
wonderful,
for
isn't it?
Kamala because
Oh.
a bunch of my friends are going to get in trouble if you don't.
You need to do it.
Allegedly.
This is literally, would you like to play a game? You do want to play a game, don't you? And then there's just saw blades around the corner.
Labs is right. She does look like frickin' Chucky, man. I'd be more scared of her
Yeah.
coming after me than Chucky, to be honest.
Come on, go vote.
Look, the way she's talking to people too, like we're
Yeah.
dogs. Come on, little doggy. Do as I say, puppet. No.
Yeah, but with anyone does that kind of fake smile, it's always behind a threat. Come on, or there'll be consequences. We both know there'll be consequences. It's that kind of attitude, and it just comes across as really smug and superior, which is why it repels people.
Yeah, that's why
That is a good.
this
screenshot, by
election.
the way.
That's something that it is. This was what was so great about this election is 74 million, I think is what it ended up being, something like that. We're like, no. F your stupid woke bull crap. We're not listening to you dumb celebrities who are entitled and so out of touch. Like, it was the first time I seen a celebrity talking about this was Rob Schneider, when he was like, basically like, shut up, okay? You guys don't know what it's like to have to buy groceries. The regular American people have to choose between groceries and gas sometimes because of the freaking Democratic Party. Just, I'm not gonna get into it. The last stream we got into it a lot more, but I'm just like, this stuff is so stupid. I'm just so glad that people are waking up and not listening to dumb Hollywood, because these people don't care about you. They don't have to. Our struggles are not their struggles.
But
They're fine
the
either
issue
way.
with all of it, with being like, come on, it's not optional. Especially as a bloke, it's just, okay, what are you going to do? Or what, love? Like, seriously. It's the same when New Zealand
Maybe she'll
have
go on
recently
strike
come out.
and we'll get good movies
and
because she'll be gone.
The Maori started doing like a hacker in it, and there's a guy there, and the guy's like, yeah, I can do the hacker properly. And when they do it in the rugby tournaments, it's like, okay, yeah, that's pretty intimidating, actually. But in this, there's a load of women in Parliament doing it. There's some woman who's like half my age, and then around the top is every single woman around the top started doing it as well. And when the blokes do it, it kind of matters, because it's meant to be an intimidating war dance. When someone like Rachel Zegler, if she attempted it, it's not intimidating at all, and you just look like a fool. And that's what this is. The only response comes, oh what, love? It's like, she comes across as a nagging wife, and it's like, look, this may work on your boyfriend. It doesn't work on anyone else, it actually repulses them, and you need to learn that. You need to learn where your boundaries are.
Well,
Yeah.
and the reason, and what she's saying, it just, as most people in America, I think, are probably most likely uninformed voters. If you're
Mhm.
only voting for one thing, I don't think that's a good way to vote. You should look
No.
at overall everything the party
The
that
actual
you're voting
policies.
for that they're working towards. And like, if anything, she should say you should vote. How many people did not vote in this election? Right?
Yeah, no,
I'm not in the camp of democracy being a great
Yeah.
thing anyway, so I'd strip more people of voting, not less. I don't want more people to do it. People are like,
It's-
everyone should do it. I'm like, no, that sounds even worse.
and
Let's
the
split
most
it down to the decent people.
the most ironic and funny thing is what they were running on. It wasn't going to change. It's not just the president who has the option to change the rights, and it wasn't Trump that changed it either. It's just so dumb. It's like they're really going for, like X-Ray said, the misinformed voters that are just going to listen to what they see online. But luckily, those people didn't come out in droves. The other people did. The informed people that actually pay attention. So,
Or like
good job, America.
very affected people.
Yes,
Everyone
exactly.
else tried honey. And so they were like, no, they're taking your rights away. They're doing this. It's destroying the economy. This is the first person I've going, no, you need to do it. It's not optional. Go and do
she's
it.
like threatening
This is
you.
a
It is
threat.
actually optional. Like, if you
Well-
look at it, it actually is optional.
Well, the way this is delivered, it's a threat behind a fake smile, and it's done intentionally. Everyone knows it's. She just knew it was a fake smile. It's not optional. It is like, it's not optional. Otherwise, you're gonna see what I'm have to do. It's that kind of attitude, and
Oh,
just
bring it
report.
on, Rachel.
Well,
Was
exactly.
that
That's
it?
the attitude. It's just like, or what?
I can't believe she actually has fans. Yeah.
Vote blue. And if you
That was it. God, she's probably like stoned or something. She looks like super retarded. I'm sorry.
Well, no. You need to play the end. The end is the best bit.
Oh, hold on. I gotta
Yeah.
replay it then. I thought we just played it. Hold on.
No, and the end is good because she already said everything else, and then there's an edit, which means
hold
that
on.
she finished and thought, well, that's not good enough. I need to say this last bit.
Yes.
Okay. And make sure I have the sound on.
Yeah. It's wild. And what is she? 23 years old?
Yeah.
She's super dumb.
No, I don't go along with Ryan's thing of she's just young, she's a young kid. It's like, no,
Oh,
she's
yeah, she just hit
23. By that time, normally, you're supposed to have like
I don't
3
think-
kids and been married for 5 years.
Yeah.
You're
if she
supposed to
was
be grown up by
18,
that point.
I
She
would
said just hit
maybe
the
give that
unfollow
concession.
button.
No,
Is that
even
what
if she's
you're
18,
talking about?
she's an adult. If she was 12, then yeah, you can be childish. If you're 18, you're an adult, grow up. This
Okay,
is the whole thing
I'm
about,
up.
they mature faster. Well, not apparently.
Was the ending where she said to hit the unfollow button? Is that what you're talking about?
on
Yeah.
this
on.
social media
Yeah, but there's
app
an edit.
say that we have a really important presidential election coming up, and Lenny is very eager for you to vote for Kamala Harris. And it's actually non-negotiable.
See, she's
Our
already
rights
edited
are on
to
the
add
line,
this,
folks.
And then there's one more.
Our reproductive rights.
Please don't have kids,
Come on.
Rachel.
She's
So vote
pregnant.
blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment,
Oh.
just hit the unfollow button.
I hope that her
I don't need
follows
your business.
dropped after
Thanks.
that. Because I don't know why
Mhm.
she even has fans. Like, there's nothing. She just seems like such a brat. And so she's just so unlikable.
You can't say that anymore. That's supposed to be a good thing.
Oh, yeah. Brat
Oh,
summer.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
It's
hate
basically I'm a
everybody.
bint, but I'm embracing it. It's like, oh, congratulations, you have no
I
standards.
saw a parody. It's just one of those guys that does. I'm sure actually you've probably seen it because it's on all over Instagram and stuff. But he's so funny. He like imitates like his mom or something, and he bought like a Bratz T-shirt. He's like, "Gonna have a Bratz summer," and then someone's like, "Does she know what a Bratz summer is, or is she talking about the doll?" And he's like, "She just wants to be included. She doesn't know what it means."
I mean, rather than going for brat and trying to spring it up, I much prefer when people are like, I'm going goblin mode, and they just completely embrace degeneracy. It was like the Asmund lifestyle. I've just gone goblin mode. And it was like, at least you knew what you were and you weren't bragging about it.
So
Now, is this... There was so many of these. She
there
had,
was.
like,
I
four
just
different...
grabbed one. Yeah, I just grabbed one, and this is the one where she says, "May Trump supporters and Trump
Oh, this
voters
is-
and
yeah.
Trump himself never know peace." And then what was the next? It was the next day, I think, where PR Disney was like, "Listen, the movie's about to come out. You got to roll it
Yeah,
back."
I don't think it was even 24 hours that she had before she had
No.
to take it back.
She got, I got so
Mhm.
emotional. Oh, did you?
And-
No, that's not what she
And that
hold on, I
apology...
got
Well,
that.
no, actually, can you take that up? Because there's a bit in that which I think reflects
Yes.
on
Let me
what
pull
she
it
said
back up.
last
Oh my
time.
God.
Because she was like, "Am I right to getting taken away? My reproductive rights?" And it's like,
Nobody's rights are
well,
getting taken away.
hang
That's
on.
something that gets
You
me.
seem to be
So
concerned about something else in the picture that was just up, literally 5 seconds ago.
here, sorry. I had to pull it back up.
Because as always with this, you're not just moral if you're preaching about something you've lost. You're
Can't
really
highlight.
moral the further away you can pretend you care. So if you care more about space rocks than your own people, that's really virtuous. But in this, she says, leaning towards a world which is hard to raise my daughter in, leading us toward a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want. I don't think
Well,
she has
you know,
kids
you
at the moment, so I'm assuming she's pregnant
Mm-mm.
or planning to have a daughter in the future.
She's
But
probably
she's
not even
already
pregnant.
planning for her daughter to murder her granddaughter. Like, this is something
Just
that's really
wait
important to
until
her.
we're older first. And I don't understand why we can't teach people to, wait to have kids. Let's not have the sex right away.
Like, what about the safe
Well,
sex
I'm not
talk?
even on
Are you-
about encouraging people to wait. I'm like, you should have babies at 18, but you should be married first and just return to what we used to do. What I don't think people understand is what we're doing right now is incredibly modern. Everyone seems to think that we've been the way we are now. It's like when people are like, oh, well, teenagers always... No, teenagers never rebelled. They used to obey their parents. It's a very recent change. And it's the same with this. Oh, well, I'm going to have babies in my 30s. Well, good luck. If they are, there's far more higher of autism and complications and that they're a retard. You should probably have had them when you're 18. Oh, well, it's really hard to be pregnant. It's not when you're 18. It's the way the society was meant to be oriented, and it was for thousands of years. And now it's just, oh, I know better now. And now what you're doing when saying things like waiting or maybe she should just choose, like, whatever, and have a career first. Or she could do it the other way around. She could have a career when she's 35.
The thing that these people don't want to admit is if there was any complications, if they were assaulted, anything bad happening.
Well,
I
that's
think
not even worth
most
having a
states-
conversation
Well,
about,
no,
because
but most
anyone
states
that
you
wants
can
it...
have that done. But these people that are complaining, they're mad that they can't use it as a contraceptive. Use a condom, use birth control, or just don't have sex. Don't be a little thought. It's pretty
Well-
easy, and that's what makes me so mad about this is because it's and they lie clearly. I mean, that's what happens. I've seen like Kamala commercials and stuff that were like, and if Trump wins and you get assaulted, you won't be able, it's like, no, actually you will be able to. But
Because they want you
if
to
you look
argue
at
about that
every-
rather than the point. But that's
I looked
why...
at statistics. Like this was a while ago, but the statistics show that women that have been assaulted usually keep the baby, and the higher percentage of women that get them are it's like other category. You know what I mean? Which is basically like, oh, oops, I had a whoopsie daisy. I didn't feel like being safe, pretty much. And that's what makes me so mad. It's like you're just being disgusting, and you're mad that you can't kill your, because they think anything with a heartbeat is alive. That's how I look at it. And
Well,
these
no,
people
what
don't
they've
look at it
done
that way. They're just like,
is
oh no,
they've-
it's not out yet, so it's not alive.
They've
Like, what kind of
entirely
logic is that?
embraced the American ideal of freedom to the point where you have to be free of everything, including nature and your own body and responsibilities. So anything that infringes on your desire to do literally anything at any point in life is oppressing you, and that's bad. And so therefore, you must free yourself of literally everything. And so even the most natural of things, what you're born as or any kind of consequences of your actions is just, you can't do that. I need to be in control of it. and science
Yeah.
needs to make it. And it's like, maybe those consequences are a good thing. Like, maybe all of these things are happening for a reason. It's the way it's meant to play.
It's like when people say, I don't want to be fat, but you're eating all these donuts.
Yeah, but they want a
Maybe
chemical
you
to-
shouldn't be
yeah.
eat the donuts. It's the same thing. This is
Yeah, but-
where our biology is at, but they don't want to admit and accept it. They want the easy way out. And that's the problem with a lot of the people who are at this junction now in society, because everything is easy. They don't know struggles of even just simple shelter and food. The people who are complaining are the ones who goes to Starbucks, gets the $10 drink 5 days a week with their Apple phones, with
That
their
much sugar
Apple
in it.
laptops, and they're like, oh my rights are being taken away. There are people who are hungry
Based.
and you're getting $10 drinks. You know, maybe you should
Yeah.
learn what real struggle is before you start complaining.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Yeah,
my
no, and
rant.
just the point is that like I said, the data that I had looked at showed that it is most people that get it just listen. There's stuff that I didn't even know about.
But
that
they
I
don't
was told.
respect
I
your
had a
data
friend that's-
anyway.
Oh no, of course not. They're like, wait, no, I'm right. Plug ears. I don't want to hear you. That's how they
Well,
are.
no,
but
the only reason they raise the point is so that you'd have to argue it and go on defense and stop talking at the actual point, so you get nothing done. So you step
Yeah.
over what they say, because what they say is meaningless. It's just for power in the
There's-
first place. And it's like, well, okay, if we just accepted it and we let all those people do it, would you change your mind? No. Okay, so what's the point
Yeah.
in talking about it then? Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about the core of the issue.
But
And this
the-
is
the
what it is
point
with a lot of it. It's all
is-
smoke and mirrors, and just
is that
ignore
anybody
them.
that wants to argue that if you get assaulted and you can't have that done, you can. So you could argue as
And
much
it's
as you want,
just-
but you
It's
can.
up to the state.
So yeah,
It's
and that's how it
not
should
up
be.
to-
It's if you don't like the state that you're in, move. I know,
this is
it's
one
not
of the
that
reasons
easy.
why
Sure.
there's a lot of people that say culture is downstream. What is it? Politics is downstream from culture. It's now culture is downstream from law. The reason why America has this issue and you're debating it all the time is because you have the laws that you do. And if you just made it illegal, in a generation, no one would even question it because they've grown up with that law. And this is why the culture is different in the UK, because we have different rules. And so they've kind of been settled for decades. So no one even talks about it
Question
anymore.
Is in the UK, what are the abortion laws? Just out of curiosity. 'cause
I
have
don't
no
know off the
idea.
top of my head. I know most of Europe. I can easily look it up. Europe has different rules. I think all of them are less than yours.
Yeah.
We have a time limit, 24 weeks.
So that would
89% were performed before 10 weeks.
Because I would think that under 12 weeks would be the most appropriate, but then again, that's outdated information on my end. So
I mean, if you want to scientifically push it, I think as far as the argument can go, from any reasonable person, would be heartbeat and brainwaves. At that point, I think it's obvious. I used to hold that position, and now I'm just like, no, I think you're all evil. And so the more evil you get, the more I'm a bit like a balance board, right? The more someone runs that way, the more I'll run the other way. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna be over here then. And so when they started pushing it one way, I'm like, no, I'll take everything. Like, no, not at all. And so that I've like hardened on that position over time. But I think heartbeat and brainwaves are the most obvious when people are like, well, I don't know where it begins. Well, okay, at that point.
So my friend told me the other day, like she has a couple, I was talking about her, how she had some of her like very liberal friends that were just like and going crazy after the election. And she told me she's seen some like videos. There's women on like TikTok and stuff that brag about how many like abortions they've had and stuff. And that's disgusting and evil. Like, I've had 44. It's like, you are disgusting. That's just evil. That's pure evil. Like bragging about doing that. Like, what the hell is wrong with people?
That comes down to, it's the same thing that you saw with the Hollywood celebrities and all the women shaving their hair and being distraught and everything. And people are like, is this fake? It's like, no, it's not fake. They believe what they're saying, but they are social signaling that they are more virtuous and moral by you by showing they're more affected and emotionally impacted by it. And so it's the same thing there. It was the same thing with the body count as well. They were just coming up with like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. It's the same with how much money do you think a man should make before you can date him? One friend will go 100K. Next one will go a million. I want 5 million. I want 10 million. Because by showing that you have higher standards, you're saying I can demand more, and that makes me better than you. Because I can get that man. My standards are so high because I'm so superior to you that I can get whatever I want, no matter how stupid it is. And so it's just social competition. And once you see all of this stuff as social competition, everything fits into place. It's the same with like anything. It's like, well, how many have you had? Well, if it's virtuous in your circle to have had them, to have more is more virtuous to have less. So they just start lying.
I got
Yeah.
confused on that one.
Yeah, it's not your face.
It's
you're
just simple to me.
processing.
I definitely made sense.
Sorry.
Whether I said it slow enough, I don't know.
I don't think I would have never understood it.
Well, that's
Let's
what
finish
really interests me. I really
this
like
topic, 'cause I
working
don't wanna
out
talk
why
about her
people act how
anymore.
they act. Because a lot of people like to think they're all special snowflakes. It's like, no, everyone acts the same way for the same reasons. There's very few boxes that people fit into, and I like knowing why. And the more you do it, the more you realize. It's why I like evolutionary psychology. It's like everything is explained just by how you evolved, and you're trying to rationalize it afterwards.
Actually, I pulled a me, as Ian likes to point out. Wow, that's crazy. When I don't understand what this person said.
I like.
I mean,
how
I didn't
drunk
say
3PO
that was crazy. I just said I'm confused.
I like how drunk 3PO does that, but on Twitter. So he's got like all the time in the world to come up with a reply and just go, "Wow," like on Twitter.
Wow.
Like in real life, you'd be like, it's like, "No, this summarizes everything I want to say about this."
All right, so let's get. I can't wait for the stupid Snow White movie to come out, and then she's just people that still hire her after all this. They're kind of bold because the Snow White movie wasn't going to do well anyways, but she's making it even worse because there's people that don't pay attention to the stuff that we pay attention to, but they've seen little comments from her and they're like, oh, she's an entitled like little brat. I don't want to see this movie because she's in it. Like I've seen
Guardian
comments like
article.
regular people that don't live on the internet like us.
There's a Guardian article that says how she went from like Hollywood's darling to the most scandal-ridden celebrity of all time. And it
That was
is,
her fault.
well, it goes through a lot of all of her scandals, and I'm like, you didn't even get all the ones that I know about, because it doesn't
This
even
room's
do
like,
like
I got
Gina
more.
Carano or anything else.
Yeah. This was like, I got the tabs. I got more tabs open than this article has.
Well, like, I can remember what happened,
My
but it
word
gets a lot of
count.
them. Like how she managed to get into the Oscars because her and her fans complained enough that Disney pulled special strings for her to get her in just to try and save PR. Disney have done a lot for her, and this is how. Like, do you remember when she went on to an interview with the Little Mermaid actress? I can't remember her name.
Halle
Halle Bailey or Bailey?
Haley Bailey.
Halle
Yeah.
Bailey.
Because I always get confused with Halle Berry just because
I
they're
know
similar
it's
names.
it's so similar. Yeah.
But yeah, she went on there, and if you remember, that was kind of a chilled interview. It looked like she was trying to change her kind of image and stuff. It was far more, I'm not going to offend people, I'm going to say I really like all this stuff. It's like, yeah, but changing your image only works if you could shut your gob. You actually do genuinely need to commit to change, and she can't. Like, this is who she is. She's always been like this. She's always been the activist.
She's
the
not
spiteful
gonna.
activist.
I don't think she's gonna. I mean, she might always work, but she's gonna end up getting smaller roles. Like I don't see Disney hiring her again. Maybe
I don't
but- 'cause
see anything happening after this movie. After this, she has no planned movies that she's going to be in. All of her
Yes, the-
movies have not done well. She's not
Mm-mm.
making money. I mean, she's a good singer. That's the one thing I'll give to her. She's a good singer. Okay.
But I'm not even
I
saying
don't
she's
like
not
her.
talented. I'm just saying she's a cow.
It's the way she acts. Like
She's
you-
a talented cow. Got it.
This is the thing. Like anyone can sing, but talent doesn't necessarily go to nice people. And I think it depends which way Hollywood goes, because there could be two paths. They could just double down and go mental and just like lose it all over again and think, no, it's so important that I send this message to people. Or the money men could come down and just be like, no, we don't care. We know what you're going to do, and so we have to use like safer people, normal people, mentally stable
Yeah.
people. If that goes down, then she's got so many red flags they'll never hire her. But if they're still allowed like the freedom to do whatever they want, I could see they're hiring her because like, well, we know what she'll do in the interviews. Because they always knew she's always been like this. But they were happy to send out that message before.
When it was virtue signaling, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said this before, Haley, I didn't like The Little Mermaid at all. The live action was crap, but she was classy the way she acted. She paid respect
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
original voice actress. She talked about how much she actually loved Ariel growing up. She was happy to have the role, but this one, it's like, why did you even accept the role? You hate Snow White so much. You're like, I just don't. Yeah,
You hate everything
I don't
integral
think-
to the character as well.
This is a good one.
It's why West Side Story for me is the best example of exactly who she is as a person. Because in the marketing, she's all like, West Side Story is so important. Before, we weren't representing anyone, but now I'm here. I'm representing the Puerto Rican people. I'm representing the Latinas from all around the world. It's so important I represent you. And then the Puerto Ricans went, but you don't represent me. You're not Puerto Rican. You've got nothing to do with me. It's like a Frenchman saying he represents the English people. And she turned around and went, well, you just don't know what it means to be Latina. You don't know what it means to be Puerto Rican. We're having all this pointless argument rather than just about me representing you. She gets all arsey with them. When she's saying that she represents them in the first place. And it just proved to me, she will say anything to get the job, anything to appear virtuous. And it doesn't mean anything to her. It is literally what gets me more power and money.
Oh yeah, it's like there was a meme that I forgot exactly how it was worded, but it was like black person speaking logic, and then like a white liberal like covering their mouth like shh, because that's just it's true though. It's oh my gosh. But anyways, Rachel Zegler apologizes about 20 hours after she posted all that nonsense. Rachel Zegler apologizes for anti-Trump comments after backlash. I let my emotions get the best of me. Rita, did you? Rachel Zegler has apologized. Oh, let me highlight for not disparu for the chat. Rachel Zegler has apologized for comments she made following Donald Trump's, because you like highlighting. Donald Trump's reelection was included.
Otherwise, they don't know what you're reading.
She says, F Donald Trump, and made Trump supporters and Trump himself never know peace. Her remarks drew backlash from conservatives, including Megyn Kelly, who demanded she be fired from Disney's live-action Snow White. The double standards, though. She's not going to be, because she's saying stuff they agree with.
It's been filmed twice. I mean,
I was going to say, how many more times are they going to film it? Okay,
they stuck dwarfs in a film.
No,
they stuck dwarfs in a film that didn't have dwarfs in it.
The least we can hope for is that she just isn't hired again. I don't care what Disney does because they make dumb decisions.
But it's not even about that. Like, if you look at the statement in itself, like, what do you mean by never know peace? That's a threat into itself, and that's not okay to do towards people, especially in a place of situational power. She is a celebrity, and using her, well, whatever, she can try to use her celebrity status to get votes, but then when she doesn't get her way, she throws a freaking tantrum and threatens people.
My favorite one of her 4 posts was right at the end, where she said, and I'm going to stop now. Well, a couple of times she says she's going to stop, and then there's another post afterwards. But at the end, I'm going to stop now because I don't want the hate to get to me. I'm going to spend the next 4 years in love. And I'm going to love as best as I can for the next 4 years and improve the world positively.
Right after Snow White drops.
Donald Trump. I'm like, you couldn't love for 4 years. You couldn't love for a sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did she say? Hi, everyone. I would like to sincerely apologize for the election post I shared on my Instagram last week. I let my emotions get the best of me, Zegler wrote on Instagram. Hatred and anger have caused us to move further and further away from peace and understanding. And I am sorry I contributed to the negative discourse. That's all you do.
That's because peace and understanding by her definition is her side. So agreeing with her is peace and understanding.
Yeah. Well, it's a tolerant left, the party of peace.
Well, they've never been tolerant. They demanded tolerance of other people because tolerance is a weakness.
Yeah. She also told everybody that they need to leave X because, Elon doesn't censor people. So you can't see, truth. Go where they censor you. Facebook and stuff. But you know what? I'm fine with that. People like her off X. I mean, it gives us less things to laugh at and make fun of. But if she's going to be posted to her story and it gets screenshotted, it's the same thing. We still get it. We still get all the stupid comments from her. But yeah, we already know. We've talked about this a ridiculous amount of times. We already know how retarded Disney is with the double standard. Gina wasn't attacking anybody. She was just saying her mind, which she was saying the truth. And she got fired. Then her co-star, and then also this chick who actually attacked Gina personally, they're attacking their fans, they're spewing nonsense and hatred, but it's okay as long as they agree with them. So yeah, the double standards are ridiculous. And what is this? What else did she say? There's also a deep, deep sickness in this country that is shown in the sheer amount of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. Zegler wrote,
which means us winning.
Exactly.
Why it's ours.
They can't stand that 74 million people didn't agree with them. They just can't fathom it in their head that people actually don't think like them.
Yes, because there's a significant, I would even say majority of people that literally just go along with whatever the dominant thing is because they want an easy life, and just like just tell me what to believe. It's why school works so well, because everyone believes the first thing and then never think about it afterwards. And so they just want something stable to believe in because it makes their life easier and it'll give them advantages in life. And so when those people find out that they're the minority and they've actually gone along with all this stuff that they know is a lie, they know is anti-reality, but they convince themselves of it anyway, that hurts.
And they've been doing this so often when someone doesn't agree with them, they ignore them, block them, shame them, and then they forget about them. So then this is a reality that there are different people who think differently from you. As we all know, we're not all the same. That's the beautiful thing about being a human. And to have that,
You're unique, just like everybody else.
well, you're just different from everyone else. Okay, I'm just saying, not in a positive or negative way.
Yeah, you're different,
Everyone's
just like
different.
everybody else.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm talking about what you think and what your policies, things that are important to you. But anyways, back to the point is now that it's statistically in your face facts, it's hard for them to fathom it because it's either you get in line or I ignore you or block you. So now that it's there, they can't ignore it. It's right in your face. What can they do? Except, well, in her case, get mad.
Get mad and attack the people that don't agree with you. Just millions and millions of people.
Their problem was they led literally everything. You couldn't have had more power. You couldn't have had more messaging. You couldn't have been in control of more things and then still lose. I mean, it's like, what else do you want us to do? It's that kind of attitude. And Hollywood have always thought that they can influence people. For literally decades, there's always been messaging in everything. It just slowly led up to this point, which is why if you go back to the 90s, you'll end up where we are now, because it was just slowly, incrementally improving things, and then it just exaggerated that fact and sped up. So that's always been the goal, and then it suddenly stopped working, and they're at a loss as to why.
Yeah. Very true. Let's see. One more thing here that we'll get, and then we'll be done with this. There was something about Zegler, whose comments about Snow White had previously landed her in the crosshairs of culture war, once again found herself at the center of right-wing outrage. On her Sirius XM radio show, Kelly lambasted the 23-year-old actor, saying, "Hello, Disney, you're gonna have to redo your film again." Because that would be funny if they did it for a third time. Like, okay. Because this woman is a pig and you fired Gina Carano for far less than this nonsense. She has to go. I'm sorry, Disney, she has to go right now. There's something wrong with this person. Yeah. Agreed. I mean, I know they're not going to redo it. I can understand why they're not going to redo it, but the movie's not going to do well anyway. So the best that they could do is just never hire her again. But knowing Disney, they might. That
is the ironic thing, that even now, it would probably be better as a business strategy to just not show the film. Because
just shelve it, like,
yeah, at least then you're not actively damaging your brand.
Just release it on Disney Plus and move on, if anything.
No, not even. I think
no one's going to watch it.
No one sees the day of light.
Yeah, I mean, because they did that with Peter Pan, and I don't think that damaged Peter Pan just because I don't think enough people saw it. So there is an element of that. But if they when they release this in cinemas, it's going to be it's going to hit everything. It's going to be the main topic at that time, guaranteed. And everyone knows what's going to happen to it. My favorite thing is all the rumors.
Sailing the seas for it, though. They're not going to get money.
My favorite thing is all the rumors that they went back and tried to make her less insufferable and less of a girl boss, and actually try and add romance back into the story. So even now, the movie that we see is not the movie that she was talking about when she's like, I'm not going to be saved by the prince. That was an entirely different movie that's been reshot and edited.
She's going to be a damsel in distress. I hope so. That'd be great. Like, haha.
I don't think they're going that far. Because we remember what she said, so it's got to be at least that.
Yeah, well, because even like with the Little Mermaid, this wasn't meant to be funny, but I thought the scene was hilarious. Because as a little girl, I loved the scene when Prince Eric saves her and turns the ship into Ursula, and that's a great scene. And it also shows how much he actually loves her and makes Triton see that, okay, not all humans are bad. Like, there's a lot of messaging behind that, and it's very important to have it in the movie. But in the live action one, she flops up to the thing, and she's a mermaid. I just thought it was so funny. It looked ridiculous. I laughed. And she's like this, like, there's the thing, and she's like, and it's like, what
because
hell is that?
it's one of the rules of Hollywood. And Gary's spoken about it multiple times. A woman cannot be saved by a man. She cannot learn anything from a man. And when I was at the cinema for Gladiator 2, there was a trailer on for The Ballerina, the John Wick spin-off, with the worst character from John Wick 4. The one whose main compliment I said was that, well, she just spent most of the time on the ground
still
and she
need to
wasn't in the
watch
movie
that.
much. But that trailer ends with her going, so how can I do what you do to John Wick? And he goes, you already are. It's like, yeah, because you couldn't have him training her. Like, she couldn't be learning from John Wick because she'd be learning from a man. And so what you're going to witness is
That's
the
so sad.
baby are rolling back, but it's still going to obey the same rules. Like, she'll still only be saving herself. And it's like, they're going to test what people will put up with. And it's going to be things like the ballerina, where it's like, well, she's an action hero, but she doesn't learn from him. But we also don't push it in your face and be like anti-capitalist and all that kind of stuff. So they'll test things.
I like Anna de Armas too, but some of the roles that she's
It's
done,
just
that
stupid in John Wick.
that is
In John
stupid.
Wick
For-
films,
especially-
it's all men fighting men except her, and she stands out. And like I say, it worked because she was on the floor and she was fighting one big massive dude. And like, okay, maybe he actually does have a problem bending down and fighting something so small and agile around him. That works. Doesn't work in a series. And in the trailer, she's literally just going head to head with guys, which is exactly what I said would have been stupid in the movie.
I'll catch up on super chats, guys. Don't worry. But this, since it's on topic, as is Wonky Eyebrow for 2. Don't like my politics. Don't watch my film. We won't. Exactly.
Yes.
I don't know. I'll probably watch it for Saucy, but I'll have to sail the seas for it because there's no way I am wasting my time going to the theater or wasting my money. Like even with the
Well,
Little
the thing-
Mermaid, I fast forwarded through it. I didn't watch the whole thing through. I watched a little bit, fast forward some, watched a little bit, fast forward some, and just that scene I just thought was hilarious with her on the ship. I'm
I
like,
wish you
what are
could
they
watch
doing
it
there?
on 2 times in theaters. That would be so nice.
She's
Can we get
got a
the
big
speeded
controller,
version?
and the audience is like, "What's going on?" She's like,
What-
"Sorry, I
what's
don't want
going
to watch this part.
I need to be a time traveler, okay?
I gotta
the thing-
go."
The thing is, I go with my dad to the cinema a lot. It's something we've done since I was a little kid. And so when you go into like see Gladiator 2, kind of makes sense. And then I was sitting there watching the trailer for Wicked and thinking, I'm gonna have to see this movie. And I'm like,
Gary's
there's
gonna
no
make me
way he's
watch
gonna go to that.
it.
And now it's like, do you want to see Snow White? It's like it just doesn't
Your
work.
dad, really?
No, he didn't say it. I'm like, there's
Oh.
absolutely no way I can ask him to go and see Snow White.
Oh,
No, 2 males, adults going to see Snow White is going to
Well,
look
it's the same
just
with
so
Wicked. It was-
freaking weird.
It was when I was watching the Wicked trailer, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way I'd even be able to convince him to see this movie.
I've seen the Wicked play and I liked it, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to go see the movie. First off, I'm a little bit worried about Ariana Grande. Like, she does not look healthy. All her fans
Both
are like,
of
she's the
them.
healthiest she's ever been. I'm like, she looks like a walking skeleton. Someone
Both
needs to
of
get her a
them do.
sandwich or something. Like, something's not right there. She just doesn't look healthy. I'm not even trying to be a jerk.
She looks like she's on Ozempic.
How did you say that? It was like, can you say something?
Huh?
Can you say something?
Something?
Okay, that's not how you pronounced it earlier. Like, when you weren't concentrating on it, your accent kicked in.
Sorry.
I
And it
think
was like,
she- yeah.
happens.
something's not right there. It was like it was
It's
entirely
not
different
right there.
pronunciation. It was like something.
not right now.
Yeah, something's
Yeah.
not right there.
Did Gary
Like,
and Chris
I'm
Moore go to
walking
see Barbie
in.
together?
I
Did they
don't
go see Barbie
remember.
together? That would be funny to see them walking.
I mean, I could see it. Like,
Hey,
it doesn't
Gary
matter.
and
Chris
comics
Moore's
might
seen
have
any
seen
movies.
both.
I know the Mrs. Nerdrotic wanted to see Barbie. But it would have been fun to see
Yeah,
it
but
with her.
I would have thought she'd want to see it with like the girls. That was like the event.
It would
Maybe.
be fun. If I
Yeah.
was there, I totally would have gone with her.
It is a girl event. I went and it was all girls. I don't think there was one.
Yeah,
Man
were they
in the
all
theater
dressed
for
up? Because
Barbie.
that's what everyone said. It was
Yeah.
like everyone got dressed up in all pink, and it's like we can be girly, and it's like yeah, feminism. The
And
thing
then
that
the
doesn't want
movie
you to be
ended and it's
girly.
like- Oh, right.
That's still like, I still find that movie interesting just because it was honest, and so you could look at it from either side, and everyone agreed on what was being said. They just interpreted it different ways. I thought that was interesting. Even
Yeah.
now, the speech that she does, I kind of see it in a different light than I did before. That,
Didn't she? She moved to the UK, I think. Was she one of the ones I'm sorry.
America
Oh.
Ferrera?
Yeah, I think was
I
she
have
one of
no
the ones
idea
that
where she is,
moved
and she
out
doesn't
of the
speak.
US because of her rights.
I did like how, I think it's Eva Longoria or something said she'd moved out, but she moved out in
Yeah.
like 2 days. Like, well, nobody moves country in 2 days.
You can't move yeah, no.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
actually
she
takes quite a
didn't.
long time. So
She's
this
on
is something you were
vacation.
planning, and you're like, no, I can virtue signal over this.
She's on vacation. Shut up. You're still American. Let me
So
get
are
some of
you.
these. I am, and I'm proud. Let's get some
I'm
of these
Italian,
super
no, I'm
chats.
American.
I am Italian.
Another
Matt-
100
Matt-
knockers. Knockers are everywhere.
They are everywhere, okay?
Yeah,
I see
just
them
all over the place.
everywhere. Different sizes, different shapes.
I just appreciate that they've always been even. That's my favorite. That's the best part.
Worried about the upcoming Harry Potter series? Will Hermione be black? And what Hogwarts houses are you? I'm not a Harry Potter person, so maybe X-ray might be a little more
did
than I don't
watch them
think
all.
Disbrew
You know
is
what?
either.
I watched all the movies for the game. I don't think I ever told Blabs that I watched them because I was just gonna meme over that I'd never seen them, even though I'd seen them, and then like drop lore.
Oh,
But yeah, I've not read the books or anything, and I literally watched them on the kind of game things. I don't think I'm not that worried about the series just because she has such top-down
yeah,
control over her own
JK.
IP that she has to sign off on everything, and so at least you'll know that any changes that happen, she signed off on. And I struggle to defend that. It's like if Brandon Sanderson does a series and they absolutely destroy his work, I'll blame him because he's around. It was his decision. And therefore, he's responsible for anything that happens to his work. So I can't say like somebody's destroyed. It's not like Tolkien when no one can defend him. So you kind of feel compelled to defend somebody who's dead. If they destroy it, it's her own fault and it's her own work, and she deserves it. So, but I don't think she'll let them just because she's always done it with everything else. I do
Yeah.
think because she's a bit of a lunatic anyway. Like people think she's based just because they agree with her on one topic.
On
and it's a topic
trans, yeah.
It's a topic that I don't care about at all. So I just remember all the other stuff she's done.
Yeah,
and so-
I'm
that's
Hufflepuff,
true.
by the way.
I think that's
Ravenclaw.
actually what I am. I took a quiz, like probably for Blabs or something. But
I
yeah,
took
I don't
it
know
for
what
the
that
game.
means. What are you then?
Ravenclaw.
Oh, okay.
And I
Oh,
told
that
Blabs
makes
and she went,
sense.
yeah, I understand. I could have guessed that. I was like,
I
oh.
know when I say I'm Hufflepuff,
Didn't mean
everyone's like,
anything to
"Yeah,
me.
you totally are," and I'm like, I don't know what that means. What a Hufflepuff thing to say.
Aren't Hufflepuff's the one that everyone takes the piss out of all the time?
You know what?
Yes, it's the worst.
The strength
Because
of
I
your
thought I
reaction was
was
amazing.
Ravenclaw. I thought I was Ravenclaw, honestly. And then I
You were
became
just
a
like,
Hufflepuff.
yes.
It's okay. Me too. We're in a
I
gang.
want to be smart
Uh,
and clever, but no, I'm not. Who saw that coming?
We can be dumb together.
Well, yeah,
Lord,
'cause you've got like the Machiavellian group that they're manipulating all the events. Then you got the smart people. Then you got the Hufflepuffs who are like, I'm really happy all the time. And it's like everybody looks down on.
you know,
They're just
well,
like nice people, and everyone's like, "You scum!
You're disgusting. You disgust me with your
You'll
happiness.
never
Get
have
out of here.
power, you cretins!" And they're like, "Oh, I just like to be happy."
Lord Botha, thank you for the $4.99. Masa getting all this free promo on this show, and we still can't get him to 500 subs. Not good for real, for real. Goon, hashtag Goon and hashtag Rock Squad.
I mean,
Oh, I know. We got poor Masa.
You're
Trying to get
doing
him to
it for
500.
yeah.
look, I stand
He
by
does
the
get
fact. If I
a lot
want
of
one
promo.
person to succeed on the internet, it's Marza. Like, if I could pick anyone and just be like, you need like 50 million subs and just see what happens, I would legitimately put Marza in control of the world just to see what happened. Like, give him
Banana-
totalitarian
he'd be
control
He'd be like,
and
you
just
get
watch,
banana milk.
stand back.
The first bill that he's passed, everyone gets banana milk.
Yeah.
No,
Have to drink it
The
every
first
day.
one he passes, no one wears shoes.
Oh yeah, barefoot and then
Everyone-
banana milk.
Yeah, but Marza wouldn't just be like, you can't wear shoes. He'd be like, no, you have to lose them. Like, how on earth do I deliberately lose something? It's like, you'll find
Throw
a
him
way.
off a cliff. Yeah.
I'm not saying when I put him in totalitarian control, I wouldn't be on Elon Musk's space rocket to Mars to watch it from outside. I just think it'd be funny. That's all I want.
Jose Rodriguez is that peso?
Mexican?
No,
I don't know.
isn't it? Oh, well, for 50.
Oh,
Thank
Mexican
you.
peso.
Okay, I thought so. Thank you for the 50 Mexican pesos. Hello, guys. I just watched Gladiator 2. It was just okay for me. Good action sequences, too much CGI, but not bad. The plot was meh. Well, this brew is going to talk momentarily
There wasn't a plot. Yeah.
about Gladiator. I didn't see that, and I don't think X-Ray did either. You didn't watch it, right?
No,
You've
not-
been, yeah,
it's-
you've
it's
been
not
busy all
out
day.
It's
yet.
not out over there.
Oh, okay.
No.
I don't
it's
know
not
why
out
this has
in
happened,
America.
but apparently it is.
I don't know why.
How has this happened? Mission Harry Impossible featuring LTM? What?
What's
I don't know what
LTM
this-
mean?
I don't
I don't know.
understand. For
I was too
5.
busy laughing at Missionary Impossible to finish the name.
Thank you for the 5. Have no fear, Disparu. Mazza will join you in the UK for the great
Mazza's not going to get on a plane
Machete
anywhere.
Battle of 2024. He went on a plane from MazzaCon to another part of Australia, though, along with the other militia
I always thought
members.
Mazza is the kind of guy who's like, I'm not leaving my town. I like my town. I'm born here. I'm going to stay here.
MuzzaCon, that's
I
cute.
know what I know and I like
True
what I
pop.
know. That's what I thought Mazza would be.
Like True Pop and I Am so forth. Anytime, once in a while, when I'm just like having a chill stream and I play Dead by Daylight and Maz is in the chat, I'm like, you want to play? And he comes on, he plays with me. And every time Ian says something in the chat, he's like, who's Ian? All I know is I Am. He calls him I Am so forth.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
how
he
he-
calls
I
him
am
because
so
I was
forth.
like, what? I thought it was Ian so forth. What?
I know Maz is gonna gaslight us all into thinking it's I Am and not Ian.
Yeah, Mazza's still trying to
It's not gonna
convince people
work,
that the
Mazza.
5th Jaws movie is the best.
She's
I mean,
got
he'll
your
just say
number,
anything.
Mazza. She
I
knows.
get random DMs and he's like, the 5th series of Penguin was awesome. I'm like, the 5th, it's not even out yet. What are you talking about? It will be, though.
Oh, look who's here. Carlos Lima, your stepson. Hi, Carlos. Thank you for the 5. Good evening. I hope you all had a great week.
I'm still
I
not
got
giving
my
you backdated
cognac.
Christmas presents.
I got my cognac Dutch vodka with a splash of rose wine. Ready, let's get saucy. Oh, say rose. I said rose. Rose, sorry.
I'm sorry, what did you say as the C word?
Cognac.
Cognac.
I pronounced like cognac.
Yeah, I
At
was like,
least
there's,
you
there's
said
not enough
okay.
letters. I don't know which
At
one's
least you
correct.
didn't
I
say
just knew you
cognac.
said it differently than I did. I always pronounced the C. I don't know if that's correct. You're like,
It is for me.
it was like Laconia. I was like, wait, what? That's either really posh or entirely incorrect. I don't know which one it is.
Google it.
I will.
Jason Webster. Fine.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted. Thank you for the Australian 5. Hi to the endearingly warm-hearted X-ray girl, pragmatic
Hi.
wicked virtue, and extroverted disparu. Love how you all keep me well entertained.
I am not
Very
extroverted,
time.
just so we're aware.
On the stream, you are. Sasparu comes
You are
out from time to
actually
time.
That's because I'm
Extroverted
in
on
a room
stream.
on my own in front of a camera. It's very easy to do.
He's
Anyone
yelling
can be
at the wall.
extroverted when they're on the road.
Hirokami for another 5. Thank you. 50% of modern women are childless at 35. At 35, you have
You
about
pronounce
10%
the C as a K. It's cognac.
cognac. I say cognac. That's how I've always pronounced it.
Well, that's the
My
British
accent.
He
pronunciation.
says
Let's see if
cone
there's a
instead of
fake
Cognac.
one.
on.
Oh, the
Cognac.
American? Hang on. Oh, cognac is the American one, apparently. But it's still the K at the end.
The more you know with disparu.
Even the Italians. Maybe they're so drunk they slur it at the end.
Market reality. Thank you for the 5. A limit of 24 weeks. How many weeks in a trimester? 12 to 14 weeks. Okay, sounds sort of close to several red states and an orange president. Yeah,
I'm not saying we have laws I agree with either. Anyone that knows UK laws know I don't agree with them.
And
What I am
Mongoose,
saying
thank
is
you for
it's not a
gifting
topic of
membership.
debate over here, where I always hear it mentioned over there.
Yeah. Cranberry, thank you for the 250. Ay caramba. Can you say that, Disparu?
Ay caramba.
Thanks.
Wow.
You made it weird.
It felt very
It's
weird.
my job. It's my job. How many times she had to apologize now? I'm turning into X-ray girl. Sorry.
You're turning into Canadian, actually. Not just me, every other Canadian.
It's true. I'm sorry.
Just keeps
A.
pushing people into pods.
Here you go, Disparu. This is your favorite currency, so you can just read this one.
100 knockers again. Like he loves his knockers. Like by the hundreds. If it's not 100 knockers, what's the point?
Disbrew wants 100 knockers or nothing at all.
Yes. Every room should have 100 knockers in them. So I'm a Warcraft. It doesn't matter about anything else attached, just the knockers. I'm a Warcraft fan. Started playing the new expansion today. It's infected with DEI and Veilguard's Drag and aid.
Wow.
Look at that up.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Can either of you pronounce this? Is this check
no.
again?
Andre Medelsky. 100%
Andre Medelsky. Oh yeah, that's easy. Okay. Is that Czech? Is that the currency?
Czech.
Okay. Andre. Okay, I could have pronounced that. I seen all the letters and I'm like, wait.
You know why I wouldn't have pronounced it is because I thought that R was an F. Like
Are you
the
blind?
bit above the R made it look like an F to me. I'm not wearing my
Oh.
glasses, so everything blurred
Oh, that's
together.
why.
He's like,
Oh, I thought you were wearing contacts. Okay.
I don't have contacts. No, I'm just not wearing my
Oh.
glasses a lot
He's
of
like, I'm
time.
just blind
I just
or
see
I
a lot
have
of things in
glasses.
blurred.
Oh. Hello, X-Ray,
Goodness.
Disparu, and Wicked. Just came home from a black metal show. Been celebrating my friends and my friend's B-Day. Well, happy birthday. I dragged a drunk friend home. He bit me 4 times. I'm wasted. It was fun. Good night.
I would have
Can
ditched
I
him out for
ask-
the first one, to be honest.
Can I
Happy
ask
birthday.
a question? What's the difference between a metal show and a black metal show? Like, is there like
I
Ooh,
don't
that's a good
know. Is
question.
Dan here? Dan, do you know?
why
Dan
is it
told me
called
not here.
black metal versus just metal?
I did learn in my teenage. There's so many different types of metal, and I didn't even know that. I just thought metal was a thing.
So if it's yellow metal, is it Asian metal music?
Black metal is a subgenre of heavy metal with distinguishing characteristics.
You didn't hear
Tempo,
that.
fast-paced. Vocals, they often shriek. Guitars use tremolo picking and heavy distortion. Recording is raw or lo-fi. Song structure often have unconventional structures. Atmosphere, just as it emphasizes it. Lyrics are often transgressive and have anti-Christian or satanic themes.
Oh.
Artists
Satanic
wear
themes,
corpse
okay.
paint and use pseudonyms. It's a loud and aggressive style.
I want yellow metal.
Thanks.
What did
I'm
she
just
say,
saying.
chat?
I
Just
said,
interrupt.
so is yellow metal Asian?
Oh, okay.
Okay, I know it's
It's a
not that
guy.
funny. I
We
just
thought it was funny.
Well, no, I thought I just assumed it was something rude. But the amount of like laughing that came afterwards.
Jason Webster, thank you for another 10. It is very important to be pragmatic and have critical thinking and deductive reasoning as traits. Also, knowledge is power, so thirst for knowledge should be insatiable. Agreed.
But also, power is power, and so if somebody actually has power, you having knowledge won't save you. It's the same reason between if there's a soldier there. It's a bit like the Mike Tyson fight. It's like
What?
what the younger guy could have more knowledge of it. Mike Tyson would still beat him up. Like so the only way to have power over him was to have actual power and to bribe him.
Gotcha. Magnifico Giganticus. What?
Giganticus.
Giganticus.
We're like, wait a minute.
Magnifico Giganticus. The biggest man in the world. The guy that could
Did you
actually
Say
make a space
Giganticus?
Giganticus, yeah.
Giganticus.
The guy that could make a
Giganticus.
space elevator whenever he gets excited.
Oh. A Bill Burr answer. If there's risk involved, it should be a choice to self-sacrifice, but you're still killing a baby. Yeah. Agree with that. Okay, here you go, Disparu. It's your favorite. I think this is one of your favorite people now.
The Varg Vikings. I've seen sort of there's a European kind of
You didn't say 50 knockers.
Oh sorry, I was responding to what he said. 50
Well, that's your
knockers.
Oh my god.
This
Oh
is
my
only the best parts of 25 people. So, yeah, it's Norwegian. Look up the Varg Vikings. There was I remember there was a Eurovision contest where there was a metal band that won.
Thank you.
That's the only kind of thing I know from over there.
Okay, so lots of subgenres of metal. Even though metal is only one, there are more kinds such as black, death, thrash, heavy, technical speed, doom, stoner, and so on. Metal, lots of nuances. Okay.
That's the thing. I would never have classified myself as a metal kind of person.
I knew
And
there
then
was.
I found out that symphonic metal is a thing. I'm like, oh, I like that because I only knew that like Spotify was classifying what I liked listening to, and to know I liked like symphonics.
I just didn't know that there was so many. I've heard of heavy, death metal, but that
Well,
was probably it. I never heard of thrash. I've heard of thrash, but never
It's-
black or even technical speed, doom, stoner.
It's why I like a
More
lot
you
of
know.
Dan Vass stuff, because he does like Lacuna Coil and that kind of stuff. And Within Temptation, they were all my kind of teenage bands. And I'm like, they don't seem metal at all. And then like, no, it's symphonic metal. I'm like, what? Like, I'd never heard the genres. I just knew the bands.
Yeah, I would consider like Judas Priest and Sabbath like. Would you consider that like classic metal? You know, like there's classic rock. You know, because
I don't know, because I don't know enough about music and all the different genres and everything to classify things.
Yeah.
And with me being bad with names, when it comes to music, a lot of time I have no idea who sung what. I know the songs. I could recite the lyrics. But I quite often can't link up who sung them with what and like recognize them until I hear what they've actually done. It's just not how I work.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a good time to let Disparu go on his gladiator talk.
Oh yeah, Gladiator. I said it before. I don't know if anyone saw the movie. What was it? Civil War. And my comment about that was, it seemed like a load of separate scenes that had no relation to each other apart from the actors
Civil
in them.
War. Was that the journalist one with Kirsten Dunst? I didn't finish it because I was trying, but it's just like I get what they were trying to do. Is it worth finishing? I'm like halfway through, and I got kind of like I just didn't feel like finishing it. Because it's like that.
The thing with Civil War, some of the scenes are good. So like the action scenes are good, and the final battle is good. So it might be worth finishing for that. But
I'm
you
halfway
enjoy the
through,
scene
so.
as like a separate. Like you could take that scene, take it out, put it as a TV show for 5 minutes, and just call it a short, and it'd still be good. But it's not good when you cram them all together and make them a movie, because like, well, now they're supposed to tie together. And nothing in that movie tied together. There was no real plot. There was no kind of emotional arc through the movie or anything. It was just, you do action well, and so that makes me like that scene because I like the action in that scene. Gladiator has that kind of thing. At the start, I like the invasion. I completely agree with Shad about the tactics and everything is stupid, but because I like the action, I'll kind of let it off. But the movie has no real plot to speak of. It's just like, we need him to be a gladiator again, so the events happen to make him go back there. And this movie is acted with some of the worst acting I've ever seen. And I don't just mean from the main actor, who's
even, and I gotta look at it
is
here. Go ahead, keep
legitimately a
talking.
terrible actor. People complained in my video where I was talking about the trailer. It's just a trailer. They've cut up lines. He won't deliver it like he does. He's like, this is the most important thing to me in my entire life.
Oh my god,
I
like
need to
deadpan is
go.
annoying.
Yeah, I need. Well, this is the way he delivered it in the trailer. I need to go and save the gladiatorial arena. I will show the people that I am a great performer, and that's how he delivers everything.
Is this him?
Throughout the entire movie. There are 2 times where people give, you know, in movies where they're in front of a crowd of people, and you're like, oh, okay, this is supposed to be the epic speech. There are 2 speeches to start with. I am not a great orator. Yeah, him.
Okay.
I am not a great orator. It's like, well, maybe you should be. Because to me, that just means I am not a good scriptwriter. And I'm going to blame it on the character rather than my own skills. And so what you end up with is the music tries to carry a lot of the emotional stuff. They are desperate to make you think of the first movie because they know you like the first movie. And so with the music, like you saw in the last picture with him picking up the soil and everything is meant to remind you of the first movie. He wears the armor from the first movie. There's some scenes where I'm going to be non-spoilers as much as I can, but there's some scenes where it's like hinting that his father is protecting him. And I mean, like, literally gets some kind of spiritualism and almost magic in a way. And it's not like it's shown that it's the only explanation, but nobody comments on it or anything. It's not like it's meant to be part of the world. It's just there for atmosphere. But they really try and get the nostalgia in there. The action scenes are nowhere as good as the original Gladiator. Although the only real one I liked was the first scene. After that, you have CGI animals and stuff. Like CGI monkeys attack him. There are CGI crocodiles. They all look fake as hell. Fighting them isn't satisfying in any way, shape, or form.
That's sad. That was like my
because
favorite part in the trailer, by the way.
Which bit?
The water stuff in the Colosseum.
Yeah, you think it'll be cool, and I thought it'd be cool, but it's actually not. It's actually a really short scene, and the crocodiles. It's only if anyone drops in the water anyway, and you're like, well, you're in armor, so you'd probably have drowned in the first place. Did the crocodile really need to eat them? Yeah. But there's a bit in that where there's like 2 ships, and so they sail at each other, and one's like going sideways, and the other one's about to ram them, and then he's like, "No, pull your oar in," and then he turns and smashes all the oars. And like, well, okay, I mean, it's not really big enough to need that. In a sea battle, I could understand it. But then he, like, literally stops the boat and turns it 180 degrees on the spot. Like, that's not how boats work, but okay. And then he just rams the ship. I'm like, why didn't you just ram the ship in the first place? If you hadn't turned to kill the oars, you would have just rammed them and just immediately cut it short. So a lot of the tactics are just stupid and don't work. And so you're kind of hanging on to other things because the action isn't that satisfying. There's no emotional beats because there isn't really any plot. All the actors are crap, so you despise all of them. And some of them only exist, like there is, for Pedro Pascal, he would have fit in a different role. And they don't want to put him in that role. And so they put somebody else in. The problem is the people they put in the role that he should have played, they're just insufferable. I can't stand them. And they ruin the movie. And he ruins the movie because he's not where he belongs being in the role. And so you end up with characters swapping motivations just because they don't want Pedro to be in this role. It's almost like it was written into his contract that I can't be a horrible person. And he needed to be. It's... Because I know that happens, right? Apple have a thing in movies where we can't be used by villains. Because they don't want their brand associated with evil. And it seemed like that was what Pedro was. It was just like, his character should have gone a certain way, and they just, no, we can't do that. We have to make you sympathetic. And so there was nothing to hang on to for the plot, emotion, characters, acting. Denzel is legitimately the only person in the entire thing who acted at all. Like, he just played Denzel Washington. He played, like, the Training Day character in Ancient Rome, but at least I liked that character, and so he was the only thing I really liked in the movie, that and the first scene.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a very non-spoiler review. I'm proud of you.
I tried.
It's hard for you to do that.
There is a bit in the trailer, right? So this is in the trailer. It's not a spoiler, but this is the kind of movie that you're going into, and I think because it's the first scene, it sets up everything else. They are invading a city, and it's him and his wife, and you see her in the trailer. She's the archer. Every single person in this entire army is a man, which would make sense because only men fight in wars. Except for this one woman. I'm not joking. Out of the entire city's defense, you have one woman fighting who happens to be his wife, who's an archer. And there is a moment where Denzel Washington is literally walking into the city and he turns around and goes, "Kill her!" And she is the only woman out of the entire city. And he's like, she needs to die for the plot. And he literally points to her, and then she dies. And that is in the trailer. You see an arrow in her. But that's why. Because he literally points her out. He might as well have gone, fridge that character so our hero can continue. It's so obvious and out of point and random. Because, look, I think it's stupid to have in ancient Roman stuff have women in these armies. But if you are going to have one, at least have, like, a group of them as archers, so that she doesn't just stand out as the one token that you had to put in for the plot. That makes it even worse.
Wow. Well, it's funny that they put that in the trailer, too. They put too much in trailer sometimes. They should have... I mean, well, I don't know if that's
I like
a big
that.
plot point, but...
I like when trailers used to be, like, a mini summarized version of the intro to the movie, so you knew what you were going to get. Whereas now it's like 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, flip of this action. You have no idea the movie that you're walking into.
Or you know the whole movie sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't mind that. Like, I like, if you look at Terminator 2, it tells you the entire story. It even tells you the twist. And I have no problem with that kind of trailer. But maybe I'm not as sensitive to, like, spoilers as other people. Because I like...
Depends on the movie. I hate spoilers if it's something I'm really looking forward to. Or if they show, like a big fight scene that would be better to, not see until you're watching the movie. I can't really think of an example right now, but it depends. Because it used to be nice when we would get, like, one trailer to hype you up for the movie, and then everything you just see in the movie. But now we get, like, 4 trailers, and that gives away, like, 10 minutes.
Then a trailer, then a second trailer, then a final trailer.
5
then
trailers
you might get, like,
later.
a scene from the movie to show you the entire thing. I'm like, oh, God. The thing was, I went into this movie, because my dad went into it expecting to like it. Well, I've seen way too many movies to go into a movie expecting to like it nowadays. So I didn't expect it to be good. And then the first scene happened, like, oh, actually, this is surprising me. I like this. If the rest of the movie is like this, it'll be good. And then it wasn't. Then it was exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
It's-
spoiled. That's really it.
Yeah, no, certain things just, I don't know, like, okay, an example, this is in the trailer of the movie I'm about to talk about. I talked about this on my stream the other day. I actually liked it because I like a good suspense movie, and this came out this year, and it's M. Night Shyamalan, though, so it's like Shyamalan, however you pronounce his name, I don't know. But
Oh,
he
yeah.
has some hits. but he has-
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan. We're gonna go
Shyamalan,
country.
whatever.
I'm not Shyamalan and then.
He's gonna be there line dancing with us. I'm not Shyamalan, country dancing champion in the last 50 years.
But anyways, he has hits and misses, right? I know a lot of people do, but it's very who knows with him. But I just watched Trap the other day, and I really liked it. It's suspenseful, but they give away like a big plot in the trailer, so I was like, wait, it's fine that they did that though, because you basically find that out like right in the beginning of the movie. I won't say anything. Anyone wants to watch it, you can watch the trailer. It's on HBO. But I really liked it. It had oh my gosh, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank right now. Someone in the chat will
I
tell
stopped
me.
watching his movies when he made The Happening, and then nothing
Happening.
happened. And this is like, you know, when
I
Kill
didn't
Bill
watch
happened,
that.
and they're like, they didn't kill Bill. He called a
They
movie The
do
Happening, and
eventually.
nothing happened. I was so pissed off. That movie ends, and it's literally like, why did this happen? We don't know. That's
All right, that was a good
literally the
one.
explanation in the movie. I was so pissed.
Josh Hartnett. Sorry, it came back to me. He's
Oh,
in it.
Josh Hartnett. I miss him. He doesn't do a
Yeah,
lot of
that's what I mean.
movies these days.
He did a good job in this. He actually was also in one of the Black Mirror episodes from the last season, and it was really that was a messed up episode. Really good. It was with Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad too. Very good episode. But he was
Black
good in this movie too.
The Black Mirror
So-
episode I really like is the one where they have a chip in their brain which remembers everything, and they can rewind time and relive their own memories. And so everybody starts like, because people do it already. Like, they're like, did I say something wrong? Could I have done something different in this situation? Or someone will have a comeback, and they'll like think, well, what could I have said? So this takes that to the logical extreme. If you can actually relive the moment and pick up on all like everyone's different emotions, their body language, and he kind of starts thinking about his girlfriend and analyzing all of her behavior and starts accusing her of cheating. And then over time,
I remember that one.
he goes through and he literally puts together all the evidence of her cheating, and he goes back to a bit where he walks into a room and he sees like the reflection of her phone of like 3 different things in a camera screen, and then zooms in on it and he can see what's happened, and he finally has the proof. And then it destroys his life. And the entire thing is it better to just not know? Things like that are really interesting ideas.
Well, the one that with Josh Hartnett that I'm talking about, without giving anything away, maybe you guys will want to watch it. Someone in the chat if you haven't. So it was him and Aaron Paul, and they're astronauts on some big mission. And they have avatars that are still on Earth, and they go into a pod, and it's like they're basically robots, but it's them, and they can still spend time with their family, and their conscious
seen
goes
that
into
one.
it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
with Josh Hartnett. That one
Oh.
was wild. I don't want to give it away because anyone's gonna watch it. You should watch that. If you're not like super into Black Mirror, this episode, was insane. Yeah, Black
Okay.
Mirror really.
I
it's a
don't think it hit
little-
the same for me, but I've seen that one recommended as like one of the best ones they've ever done. So definitely a lot of people really like that one.
I did, yeah. But so another topic. Look at us just getting topics today. Crazy.
Wait, what? What's
Actually, like,
wrong with
another topic.
us?
2 hours in, we hit a second one, a third one.
What?
Third one.
Yeah.
Guys, this is a
Technically
new
4.
record.
Technically 4 because you covered Gladiator. So
Oh, that was the one I counted when I went to third. I forgot
well,
the
no,
second
we
one.
did Tyson, Zegler.
Oh, I forgot
Gladiator,
Tyson.
and
Yeah,
now this
I think I
one.
was trying to blank out his ass.
It's I mean, I haven't seen it yet and I don't want to, and that's okay.
I'll be nice because X-Ray saves me from some stuff that you guys tell me to look up. So I won't send her the butt picture in a group
Oh,
chat.
please
but I'm
don't
so
send me
tempted.
butt pictures. I don't need butt
100% she's already
pictures.
been tagged in it.
No,
Public
no,
service.
no! Don't do it.
100%.
I'm
Public
ignoring
service announcement
Twitter.
from X-Ray. Don't show
She's
me
like,
butt.
I'm going on an
Twitter.
internet cleanse. And then the moment you come back, the first reply will just be his ass.
I hate
Yeah.
you all.
So this is kind of funny because she was just
Can't beat the internet.
what's her name? Daisy Ridley was just talking about in interviews or some interview. I don't remember what it was, but I seen a clip of it where she was so excited to bring the character back. But Disney removed the Star Wars movie from 2026 slate, replaced by Ice Age 6. So
Yeah,
the
they
Rey
kind
movie.
of fridged her.
Well, remember when, and this isn't Disney, but remember when Henry Cavill posted on Instagram about coming back as Superman, Gal Gadot was doing interviews talking about how she was coming back as Wonder Woman and so excited. And then like a week later, they announced that they, in fact, were not coming back and they were replacing them.
Yeah,
They
that
were
was
a part of
wild.
his, right? And so they're doing the same thing to her. Daisy Ridley, he probably had no idea. She's like, yeah, I'm going back. And then, oh,
Well, it's
never
been
mind.
months though, I think. So yeah, because I think she's given interviews since and be like, yeah, Kathleen Kennedy took me out to lunch and spoke to
Yeah, I
me and
remember
invited
that.
me personally. So it's not as if, you know, she was talking to some agent that didn't have power or it was just rumors or anything. You're literally talking to the head person who's like, will lead you on and go, nah, we're not doing that anymore.
Well, and they said there was something that I had just seen recently where they said that Rey is their highest, they think the best way to go moving forward with Star Wars, like the highest
I mean, I have no
grossing
problem with
character
her
or
as,
something
like,
that.
An actress or even a character. I kind of think she was probably done dirty. Because like people said, she
She
at no
could have
point did
been
she ever
written
come out and
better.
attack the fans or anything. And I have to admit, I never even saw the third movie because the first two was the most boring movies I've ever seen in my life.
One thing
So
they could have
I've
done
never
to
really
make
judged her acting.
to make Rey a better character, there's a quite a few things, but one thing in particular is just showing her become better. Not just she hops in, oh, I know how to use a lightsaber.
And she's
oh,
amazing right away.
I know how to drive the Millennium Falcon. Look at me go. Like show her
There's
train a
something
little
about
bit. Show her
overcoming.
like, yeah. Well,
She
Mary
needs to
Sue.
learn or overcome something
Mhm.
to
So she
get
can
better.
be relatable.
but
Nobody can relate
part of
to
that is you
somebody
learn
who's
from
just
other
great at
people.
everything.
And the issue is, in Star Wars, all the people she can learn from are men. So you have
And they
to
didn't want that.
fundamentally break the rule. And that's when you will know Hollywood is changing, is when they start breaking their own rules. When you see all of the fixed points, and they're like, no, actually, she actually does go and she needs to train under Yoda and everything. Or she needs to go to someone and go, look, I don't know how to do this. I need your help. And it has to be done explicitly. That's when you'll start to see things change.
That makes me sad, the John Wick things. I haven't watched that yet. That's the first I heard of that.
It's right
the
at the end of the
ballerina.
trailer, they bring him back to tell him that
How
he's
cool!
unnecessary.
How cool would that have been? Showing like having another movie or the beginning of her movie, he's in there training her.
Yeah,
How
and you
cool.
could have had them fight together, and he's like watching her and
That'd be
saves her
epic.
life. He saves her life a few times because she like messes up. And he's like, no, you made this mistake. You need to do this. And then later on in the movie, you find out that saves her life, the lesson that he taught her. But you can't do that anymore. But that's
Yeah,
how you
oh.
do the passing of the torch. You have to show that arc of them learning from the superior person.
It's not just like, you know what, you're a woman, so you're already.
Well, they have a
wonderful.
problem
You
with
know it all.
superiority. Like, they think everyone is equal, and so her learning from someone is putting him in a dominant position. It's like, yeah, but he is superior to her. She doesn't know how to fight. But in
That's
this,
what being
she
a
does.
teacher is.
Yes.
It's the crazy
Like, your
part.
entire life should be knowing where you are in the pecking order and trying to climb up it and trying to improve yourself. But they're like, no, all women are... Because this happened with Rachel Zegler in the Guardian article. People critiqued her because they were calling her like a fake feminist because she was attacking the Disney princess story. It's like, well, no, if women want to be a Disney's princess, they can be a Disney princess. You have to admire women in everything they do. Anything they do, they're powerful. And it's like, that's the story that destroys stories. If anyone is perfect, powerful, and great at everything, then there isn't a story there. You have to be crap at something and learn.
Yeah, and they just made it where she's like, you know what, I know how to do all this right away, and it's just
Like,
boring.
that is part of a good story. You know, you want to learn, get better, and prove that you're better in a certain way. There's so many movies where like you have that move where you learn it from whoever your teacher, superior, father figure, mother figure. It doesn't even matter who it is.
Mhm.
And then when you implement it and it works, you're like, I learned something and I got better and it helped.
Yeah, I mean, anime does it, and Superman did it as well to a thing of, you can have somebody who's like ultimately powerful, but then we're like, well, how do they struggle then? If they're just perfect and they can't be defeated, what do you do? It's like, well, you have them struggling with their power. you have them learning to control it. It's like, well, if Superman just punches someone, he'll kill them. Well, he doesn't want to kill people. So he's like, well, my struggle is I have to constantly drag myself down and restrain myself and learn when to use it properly. And
they
anime
show
has had it
that
a lot of
in-
time where someone
I'm sorry,
can
go
just
ahead.
destroy people. And like they have to come up with other ways to make them struggle or come up with more powerful enemies and things.
Yeah, with Superman, they showed that, and I remember it stuck out to me because I know a decent amount about the comics, these characters and stuff, but it's just if you know anything about Superman, is that he doesn't want to kill. So in that it was the first one with Henry where he had to kill the other Kryptonian. I can't remember his name right now, and he screams after he had to do it. He had to do it, and he's like in pain. If you remember that, like, and it shows that that's the depths, and that's lacking now.
Yeah,
I'm
and they had
scared
to come up with Kryptonite to give him struggles and
weakness.
challenges to
Yeah.
come up with. There's an anime I'm trying to find, and when I do, I'll come
Zod.
back
That's
with
right,
another
Zod.
point.
Thank you guys. I can't believe I forgot that. Thank you. But I remember watching that with friends, and they were just like, powerful. It's a good scene. We just don't. I miss getting scenes like from movies that you just were like, wow, that you could dive into. I mean, I kind of want to rewatch The Penguin because I'm seeing a lot of just like Easter egg things that people are pointing out. I'm like, oh, I want to go back and look for some myself. Oh, that finale was so good. You guys like the finale for Penguin?
Oh my
No,
god,
I
it was so good.
Now, without
I
any
like
spoilers
Penguin.
to anybody here, I just liked that it ended like because they have you rooting for Oz, right? It's like they show you right at the end, this guy's a villain. Don't forget.
Mhm.
And I was like, ah,
Mhm.
it was so good, but I was also so mad. Great.
And that's why one series things can be a bonus. I mean, like, well, it's really successful, yeah, but maybe some things need to stay at one series because one of the reasons you can root for people is as long as it's only targeted at horrible people. And the moment you start to have them venture off and be actual villains and be like, no, I will do anything to anyone, it actually makes it harder to root for them. And this is why in Breaking Bad, it's like, they still only did things to horrible people. You didn't see him go out and, like, randomly bomb a village of people had nothing to do with him kind of thing. Everyone was justified why what he was doing was kind of justice. They kind of had it coming. And you need that. Otherwise, the audience can turn on you.
And people forget,
Mhm.
especially if you don't really keep up with like the comics and stuff. Penguin is one of the most evil in Gotham. Like he is bad, and this
I only
they
know him from the
showcased it.
Arkham games, so
Yeah, I mean he's bad in the Arkham games too. Do you remember the scene at the Iceberg Lounge when he's got Harley's hyena stuffed and on display? Like, damn, not only did he kill her babies, yeah, those are her babies, Bud and Lou,
Oh my
basically her
God.
puppies, and he killed them, and he has them stuffed and on display in his
Oh,
little
that's
Iceberg Lounge.
disgusting.
It's
Oh
very
my gosh.
disturbing. Yeah.
but
Poor
there's an
Bud and
anime
Lou.
called the Misfit of Demon King Academy, and this guy is literally the Demon King. He was the most powerful person to have ever lived throughout all of history, who then comes back. So he can defeat people instantaneously. He's more powerful than every person he can ever meet, and they have to come up with different ways of constraining his power, or coming up with trying to outsmart him, or work out ways of making him in multiple situations at the same time that he can't be in. And that's an interesting story. So you can have someone who's supremely powerful, more powerful than anyone else, but you have to come up with other ways of challenging the person. And that seems to be something like Japan and Korea and stuff know, and we've lost that. Now we just think we can have somebody who's basically God, and that's fine. That's the story, because I want them to be powerful.
Yeah, I'm actually I don't want to say it, but I'm kind of excited for Batman 2 now. Because if
I'm not seeing
they-
the first one because
the
I
success
I need
the
to
first
rewatch
one,
Batman one.
I probably like I know there was parts of it that I didn't like, but I didn't mind Batman 1. It was like the Long Halloween. It was not Long Halloween, sorry. It's year 1 Batman, which is why like everyone that was critiquing the way Bruce was and how his detective skills weren't great yet, it's because it's year 1 Batman. He's still learning. It took him time to become the world's greatest detective. So
I hate that story as well.
what, year 1?
I just want you to be Batman. I don't care
Well,
about
that's what I
origin
think.
stories. I got annoyed
You're like,
with
I
Spider-Man.
want him settled in.
Well,
Yeah.
he is
My issue with
Batman, but
Spider-Man
beginning
I kept seeing
Batman.
Spider-Man go through his origin story through 3 different people, and I didn't know, because I didn't have access to the internet, that they were changing the actor and going to do it again. So I went to see the next Spider-Man movie. It's a different guy, and I'm watching the same
one?
story I've already
Andrew?
seen. Well, all of them. It's like
Yeah.
All
they went
Spider-Mans
through
are
3
like
different actors.
introduction, yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I just want you to be Spider-Man. I don't care how you came to be here. And if we are going to show that, we should show that later on, once I do care about you. But I don't want to see the start of your story at the start of your story.
Yeah.
That's the boring bit.
I like
Start
the
at
first
interesting bit.
Batman. It's not my favorite at all, and the ending with Selena talking about the white man stuff was so stupid. It just did not need to be in there.
That's
So
why I
I'm
didn't see the
thinking-
movie. That was in the trailer. I'm
yeah,
like,
people hated
Between that and him
it's-
going, I don't need to work out, and then I saw emo Batman with the makeup. I'm like, all those 3 things.
Yeah.
I think
Isn't every Batman like black eye makeup though with the mask on?
Yeah, but they don't show
Yeah.
you emo Batman.
No,
Like-
you gotta have the mask on. We don't want to see you without the mask. Wipe that off first. No. I think this one he's gonna work out more. Robert Pattinson, I think he's gonna be like Batman.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
I wanna get
no, we
X-Ray
know
fan.
X-Ray supported between.
Hey, I loved him in a Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter.
Oh, didn't
I
even know he was
personally
in
liked
that.
him.
I thought he was in the
Oh,
vampire
he's
movie.
handsome. He is.
He is.
Trust me, I know.
The sparkly
know.
vampires.
I don't care if he's
liked him in-
sparkly. He's still cute.
He's gonna be a complete like 180 from what X-Ray is talking about. But I liked him in The Lighthouse, which was a very
I never
different
watched
type of movie.
that.
It's only him and William Dafoe. I don't know if it wouldn't be horror psychological thriller.
Psychological thriller.
Oh, I think I've
Okay.
looked up this movie before,
Mm-hmm.
but I've not seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a Twilight girl. I almost left the hotel room when X-Ray said that Twilight was the best one.
Well,
Did you say? I
it's
forgot.
just a story about one girl struggle to choose between. I probably can't say that.
One girl struggled
between
to
between
choose between two
Necro
men.
and Beastie.
I love how you had to do the. I thought you were about to do the Kristen Stewart thing. I just can't.
Well, I'm like, I don't know whether I can say those words, so I could just shorten them.
Yeah. I don't think he's a bad actor. Especially I've seen his depth a bit more in The Lighthouse, like his acting. So we'll see. But I don't even know when the Batman 2 is coming out. There possibly will be season 2 of Penguin, but I don't know. Oh, and
I would
heard
be down to watch that.
Sophia might be getting a spinoff, and I want to see it. I like Sophia's character. I think that's a well-written female villain because she's got her flaws. She's
Yes.
not perfect. She's crazy.
I think it's such a mistake.
Ryan's tweet.
I think we
cracked
should
me
just
up.
leave it that way, though. I don't want to
Yeah.
explore more. I'm
She'll probably
fine
be-
with it.
She's a
very
supporting
least-
character, and this
Well,
is the problem.
Yeah,
They're like,
you're
"Oh, you
right.
can
I
spin
mean,
off and be a
I
mate."
think
No.
I want it, but you're right. It might be too much. But at the very least, I wouldn't mind seeing her make a cameo in Batman 2. I think she might because of the letter she
Oh,
got
yeah, that
at the
kind of-
end of
yeah.
this one. I don't
I
know.
just don't think she'd be a good
I just
story
like the
on her own.
character. I'm a sucker for a good femme fatale, but that's written properly. But you're right; it probably would get ruined if she got her own spinoff. Ryan's tweet cracked me up when he was like, "I don't need to fix her; she's perfect."
Mhm.
I was laughing.
No, he wants to F her the way she is, broken, crazy, because
Hold on, I'm gonna
Well,
find it.
Ryan
Give me a
was the
second.
guy that was in the show when she's literally
oh
tied
yeah,
to
the one
a
on
chair,
the chair.
and she's
That's
like,
Ryan
"Did I hurt
Kittle,
you?"
yeah.
And he just went, "I deserved it." Like
I
that's
He's like, hurt me more.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
gotta find
I'll be
Here
here
it
for when
is.
you're ready again. It's like
Ready and standing. Something standing. Yeah.
Here it is. Like it cracked me up. Here,
it was even like a little lost puppy. Are you bored with me already? It was like,
I said, I don't need to fix her. She's perfect. But she murdered her family. She's gone crazy. I do not care. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, he wants her to basically murder his pee like she murdered her family.
Just to write it out for you
Am
guys.
I wrong,
To
though?
lay it all out. No, if he was here, he'd be like, correct.
Correct.
You are
yeah.
right.
Yeah, use that aggression on his, wiener.
I'm still with the FNT. I'm still with the FNT chat though. I'm just like mid. I don't see the attraction. But like she's
I
so
think- I think she's really pretty.
It's
They made
2024
her look-
Hollywood attractive. It's
Well,
not attractive.
Actually, like without the crazy Gotham makeup, she's a pretty. I think she's very
Well,
pretty.
I'm on about the character in the show. I've not seen her on like a red carpet. or
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Well, because the first introduction I had to her was How I Met Your Mother. She plays the mother, but she's not in it for very long, and it makes you so mad because she's actually a really like sweet, good character in that show. That was my introduction to her, and she was on Made for Love, which is a good. It's only 2 seasons on HBO, and it's about she's with a guy who's kind of like a Google type person, right? Like invented Google, and he has like a whole fortress that's basically a simulation, but it's like real. It's crazy, the whole thing. Ray Romano's in it. It's very different, but I liked it. 2 seasons, but that was enough. It told the story. So if you guys want more of Sophia, watch Made for Love. She's in that. Disru's like, I'm good. No thanks.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing when people are about how Penguin's such a good villain and everything, I do find that he shares a lot in common with Raymond Reddington as a villain. Raymond Reddington also does the same thing. No matter what situation he gets himself into, there's always a story. There's always some way of working it out. And he charms people into doing what he wants. But there's always, as he's charming you, there's that underlying... He has a bit more of an underlying... there's a threat underneath the charm, whereas Penguin never really came across as the threat underneath the charm. A lot of his kind was more like begging or like appealing to, no, I'm just like you. So he was trying to make himself unthreatening, and then when you took him as unthreatening, that's when he got you. Whereas Raymond Reddington is more like the smiling person with the knife behind his back.
Yeah.
But I do like the characters where they've always got a story. They've got like, what's it called? Charisma, and they make people want to do what they're told.
Yeah, I liked that about him. You know, that he could talk his way out of stuff, and then like you said, if he couldn't talk his way, he was just like, "Oop." Or like the congressman when he's like, all right, especially afterwards too, he like messed up his nose. He's like, all right, calm down, relax. Okay, like he almost ripped off his nose. He's like, relax. Okay, it's not that serious.
You get it in the very first scene. He's literally caught red-handed stealing from a guy. Walks in the room. What are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm so glad that you turned up here. No matter what situation he is, he always just rolls with it immediately. It's like, oh,
Well,
this is
like-
exactly what I wanted to happen here.
Remember the moment when the Falcones, Sophia, when he met with the other, whatever the other family name is,
Maroney's.
Maroney's, and then you're like, oh, he's gonna choose the Falcones. He's gonna choose Sophia, and then immediately he's going to the Maroney's and be like, I don't care about her, blah 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 blah. And you're like, oh, he got no loyalties.
It shows that immediately because he's just like, yeah, I got your back. What do you mean? Of course I'm loyal to you. And then bam, immediately.
No loyalties whatsoever.
I had gel nail polish off, and I just picked it off when we were talking about Rachel Zegler. It feels
the
like
people-
This is an early episode. It's not a spoiler, okay?
yeah, don't worry. It's not a spoiler. If you didn't watch episode like 3, sorry.
Or 4, like
yeah, the one I
yeah.
mentioned is literally the first like it's the start of the first episode. But the thing is, a lot of people know that he's not to be trusted, and they will literally tell everyone in front of him, you can't trust him. You know you can't trust him. And then he's like, but I'm just like you. And he still talks his way out of it as they're telling him exactly what he's doing. And he's just like, I'm just a poor boy from a poor family. And it just works.
Yeah,
And it doesn't come across as, in modern Hollywood, it would come across that they, like it just happened and everything's a coincidence. But in this, they actually works that you genuinely believe that he did convince them rather than everyone just being an idiot.
Yeah, he's very charismatic. I don't know. I mean, if we get a season 2, I don't know. I guess it'd be good because we dive more into the Penguin, right? Like if this is the beginning of his story, even though he's been a gangster for a while when we start the show, but he's turning into the Penguin, right? We know Oz Cobb, but at the end it's Penguin showing up. So a season 2 might be good. I would love for it to be good, but I get nervous when something is so well done because then we get more and it's not as good.
If you do a
But-
season 2, I'd want you to escalate and put more Batman villains in. I like people like who need Batman in it. I don't need Batman in it, but I want Batman villains. I
Yeah.
want to see how he faces up
struggle
against
for
harsher
power?
challenges. So it's not just a gangster
Yeah.
movie, but it's a Batman gangster thing
Mr.
where he's going against people
Freeze,
with abilities and weird, creepy people. and all that
Poison
kind of stuff.
Ivy.
I would
Yeah.
love it.
Who else?
A good Harley.
That'll throw in
Yeah.
wackier situations, and then you have to find out how he'll handle those. Because so far he's just talked his way out of it, but how does he handle someone with like powers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be. I would be interested in seeing that. Like, I would absolutely. I'd be excited for season 2, but I would still be a little worried because I liked season 1 so much. It was Gotham Sopranos.
Well, I would
Chef's
literally
kiss, I
the
loved
same
it.
people that made this. I'd employ them all. Like, just pay them whatever they want, get them back. Like a lot of times they're like, "Well, we're doing this with a different director and a different No, the same people, all of them.
Yeah, and you know, a different. I don't know if you want to call it antagonist or protagonist because who do you root for when they're all villains? But if you're looking at it from Oz's point of view, someone that's against him,
You
another
have to
big
root for the main
bad.
character. You have
Yeah,
to.
so another big bad going against him, but someone that we know because Sophia was a character, well-written character, but she was just for the show, but someone we recognize and we know from the DC universe. That would be great to see. The like X-Ray said, the power struggle between them. I'd love to see it.
But will we actually see it? Because I know Colin Farrell has said in an interview he did not like wearing all that makeup, all that prosthetics.
Hated it. Mm-hmm.
But he
Everybody
did such
has
a
a
good job.
price. It just
So
depends
if
how
he has to be
profitable it
paid
was.
more,
Yeah, it just
and
depends.
on top of that, who could they get that was as enigmatic as Sophia Falcone? And we need someone who is like the light of the life, like who Victor was, because I really enjoyed the banter between the two characters. Because
Mm-hmm.
you wanted someone who was good and you thought maybe that could influence Penguin to be a better person. Maybe not.
He's
We'll
a
see.
villain, so we got reminded of that.
Well,
Mhm.
that's the thing. It would be if you did put someone like Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy would only be a good character if you changed what Hollywood is now. Because Hollywood now would be like, "Well, we've got to make her frumpy
You need a
and she can't show her
sexy
skin."
Poison
So-
Ivy.
Yeah, you would have to strip her of everything that makes a Poison Ivy in modern Hollywood. And
Sydney
so,
Sweeney, Poison Ivy.
Honestly, she could probably do any of them, any of the girls. Well, I don't know about Harley.
I don't know if she could do a bad guy very well. I could see her doing sassy, but I don't know if she could do like super. Oh, you know what? Who played Madam Web again? I can maybe see her doing it. Dakota.
oh yeah,
No,
you're gonna love it. In fact, I think you're gonna see it twice. The moment
Yeah.
she did that, I'm like, okay,
I think she would actually be
Fine.
a really good Poison Ivy. I can see.
she could probably do it. Yeah.
I don't know about that. But I think there's a lot of people in Hollywood who have spent years perfecting that kind of thing just to get into Hollywood in the first place. So I actually don't think that's as rare as it seems. I think it's more the will of Hollywood to let a character do that. Because they're like, well, it's demeaning and objectifying and men like it, so we can't have that in our movies. I think that's the only thing restraining it. Because you saw, what is it, Black Widow actress. She had a similar kind of role. It was exactly the same thing. It's like, I'm a spy, but I'll get into places by seducing them. That used to be a standard trope. Women used to do that all the time.
Now it's demeaning and we can't do it. We need more of it.
Dakota Johnson she would be more like the rule of that women can do that rather than the exception. It's
Yeah.
more no one wants them to do it.
That's what I mean. That's why I said I love a good femme fatale. That's why I liked Sophia's character so much. And I really do hope we see her in I don't think a show would be good. Would I watch it? Yes. But I'd rather just see her maybe in Batman 2. Someone is going and having a conversation with her. I mean, without spoiling anything, they kind of left it to her. It's a big possibility that she will make a cameo in Batman 2. And I would love to see that. Like someone's going to talk
people
to
are
her in
talking
Arkham.
about even Penguin won't have a big role in it, so
Probably not. I mean, he just got his whole series, so it'll probably just be like a little scene. Who knows though? We don't know who the big bad villain's going to be in Batman 2. People want the Joker. They're talking about Barry Keoghan.
Barry Allen?
No, Barry Keoghan, the actor, who I think someone did like
The
photoshops of
fastest
him
man
in the
alive is going to be the Joker. He's going to be like transported through walls
What's his
with his
name
vibration
again? I
power.
forgot his name. Grant Gus.
Grant Gust,
Gustin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gus,
I was thinking
Gustin.
of him. I
That
said
was the
Barry
thing.
Allen
You
for some
used
reason.
the character that he played rather than the actor's name.
5 or 6
Sorry.
scenes. Okay. So they could be short. So he'll be in it, but you heard Clayface. Oh, that'd be interesting. You can get anyone to play him too. Who doesn't really. Well, we'll see.
You'd have to get
what they're
everyone
gonna
to
do.
play him.
Yeah, be a lot of people.
At least it'd be easy to recast.
Yeah, that one guy. I can't believe him. I won't do violence to more than 3 women in a movie, so I can't go on the Penguin show.
That was cope.
That was so
that was.
stupid.
I think this is going to be a flop, so I'm not going to be part of it. Oops.
Let me
I think that's
distance
what that
myself
was.
now.
Yeah.
Before we
Yeah,
start.
who needs money? I mean, he probably doesn't. I forgot what I was just gonna say now. It's all right. Let's get some super chats.
being in
while
a
my
bad
brain
show-
is loading.
Yeah, being in a bad show can harm your career, so it does make sense to be picky. It's just if you're picky and then pick the wrong thing, well, you also don't want to say, no, I turned it down because I thought it'd be crap. It's like, well, a virtue signal, that'll do.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. If he did it for that reason, he's like, crap. I would have had a better role than in the first Batman movie. Like, I mean, better. I don't know. I think Penguin did better than the first Batman movie. Is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, Jason, thank you for another 5. My favorite groups are either Japanese or South Korean band made Fate Gear, Wagaki band, Rolling Quartz, Nemophilia, Manacle, Blackpink, and aespa.
I don't know. I just know that Koreans can dance way better than the crap that we have over here, where it's just like, just in your face, and it's strangely masculine because it's just like, look, this is what I've got now. It's like that men are that blunt, women are supposed to be more, and they Koreans and everything have that more feminine style of dancing, which is better. They play into it more. I don't know the groups
Duppy,
themselves.
thank you for the 5. The Penguin's just a misunderstood guy. He just needs Amanda Steinberg to turn him good. Yeah, I'm sure that would work. Just dance for him, and he'll be like, you know what? I
She
made a
can't even
mistake."
twerk,
Yeah.
which is really sad.
It is. Jason, thank you for another 5. I highly recommend the South Korean historical
One thing
film
Koreans
Uprising.
don't do because they're actually more civilized.
What, they don't dance?
They don't twerk. Good twerking isn't
Oh,
dancing. It's just shagging
No.
something without a man there.
she
This is
couldn't
what I
even
mean
do it.
about it's just so obvious and it's just like basic. People are like,
Well-
this is dancing. No, it isn't. Like the hip
That's
swaying
why-
from side to side is way more feminine than like that's masculine. Thing
It's
to do.
more subtle than because I'm sorry to Jamaicans, but like there's some of that like hip dancing, thrusting action happening in
No, it's
clubs
just really,
that I've
it's
seen
just
so
really
far.
basic and in your face and not feminine at all. It's like,
Yeah,
ugh,
and it's
really?
like you're why don't we do that behind closed doors? I think that's like something you should do privately, but I mean that's my personal opinion. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, no,
It was
me
like, I
neither.
can't
I'm
remember
with
the
you on
exact
that.
thing was.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. I don't need it.
We don't need it. We don't
Well,
want it.
the entire point of like feminine dancing was I will hint at things and you interpret them. So it's not in your face and obvious, and doing it is just literally obvious. It was the entire difference between the hip sway dancing to just I'm gonna shake my ass. It's basically degenerated in skill and talent.
Well, it's
And-
like the difference between a wrist back in the day or ankle as a flirting mechanism, and now we are in bikinis walking around. It might be a bit too much, in my opinion. I'd rather create a rarity and want people to wonder and think about it versus just having it all out there. I don't want people to know what it all looks like.
Yeah,
know?
agreed. Yeah, you gotta leave some mystery. Catwoman would be the what's her name? I forgot her name already. She's already been cast. She's in the first movie.
Oh,
I
don't
forgot
know.
her name.
Don't know.
Do
I
you
don't
know,
like in the
Disprove?
chat. Well, no, I
After I saw who was
Um,
being touted as being what was it, the female Silver Surfer,
Kravitz,
and people were like,
right? Wasn't
Silver
that her last
Surfer's a
name?
man. I'm like, well, you got one with the body type of one anyway. She looks
forgot her
close
first
enough, to
name.
be fair.
Yeah. Mark reality for 2. Sophia must not continue as a character. I disagree. I don't want a show. I don't think that would work, but I definitely would like to see her do a cameo in Batman 2.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, Zoe. Thank you. Zoe Kravitz. Thank you. But yeah, that's, I mean, I think she's attractive. And she could have worked as Catwoman, but that one line just it turned Disparu off from watching the entire movie. So
Yeah. No, I am literally like, I know what your movie's going to be now. I know the values of it. I know what you think. I know what the writers think. I don't need to watch it. And people are like, well,
that's
the rest
like
is good.
the
It's
line
yeah,
in Blue Beetle that
me,
kept people from going to see it.
To me, it's like, because somebody was like, well, I want something in the middle. It's like, I don't want something to be 50% water and 50% sewage, because that's just sewage. And what you added was sewage into your movie. So it's all sewage. I was just like, I'm done. Well, you need to put up with it. I don't, actually. I could just tell you no.
Yeah, like
it's your job to give me what I want. So,
like the Blue Beetle movie. Was I like super excited and hyped to see it? No, I might have checked it out, but when I saw the trailer and he's like, Batman's a fascist, I'm like, what? Really? That's what you're gonna go with, and you're gonna put that in the trailer? Cool. I'm not gonna go watch the movie now because it just sounds stupid. Because the fact that they had to showcase that too is like what Disparu said. This is what your movie's about. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, even though, yeah, it was a throwaway line in the movie, and the rest of the movie didn't necessarily no, but I know what you believe, and so I don't. Why would I want to support that in the first place? I know what the writers think, and the people that believe that ideology have no talent. So by putting that line in the movie, I know you have no skill. I know you're incompetent. I know you're weak and pathetic and useless, because those are the only people that support that ideology. So the moment you signal to me that you believe that, I know everything else about you. I know what you believe on every single issue, and I know that you're incapable of making something good, because that ideology can't make something good. And so I don't need to see it. And people are like, well, I can trick you into it. It's like, try. Might work sometimes. We saw what happens with Doctor Who, though. He said the same thing.
So it's getting close to the time, so maybe we should start with our winding down. X-Ray, do you have anything coming up this week, or are you going to be away?
So I will be going home sometime tomorrow. I haven't figured out what time yet. But the next stream I will be on will be Forbidden Frontier. We have Luke Caverns coming on, who has just come back from his Guatemala, Egypt, and Peru trip. So that'll be on Nerdrotic Live. And then everything should be back to normal streaming this week. So back to gaming. I have no idea what games are even coming out that I want to play.
Are you going to play Stalker 2? That's out in, I think, 3 days.
That is
2.
basically
It's a
my
scary
life.
game.
Oh
Stalker
no. Should I bring
2.
my harmonica out again for this?
I don't know whether it's going to be a jump scary game. It's kind of a bit shooter, a bit horror.
Oh, shooter game? Oh, at least you have a gun.
Well, when I say shooter, I mean like RPG shooter, like Fallout and that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Fallout is
We
fun.
need
I love
to
Fallout.
get it like at least one time. We got to get a Saucy Space Marine game going, because we planned that like a month ago, but then me and X-Ray have both been traveling, and it just didn't. We got to get one. I want to play with you guys.
This is why when X-Ray was like, "I'm the adventurous one," it was like, "Well, you haven't been home in a month." I was like,
Not me.
I've been home in
I
a
never
month.
leave
It's
my
just,
house.
like,
You never stay in
2
yours.
days. Sorry.
But yeah,
Whoopsies.
she's gonna have to catch up on stuff, but we will try to get one in.
And for the build streams, I just got well, I finished a little bit of it, but I have Peely Bone Fortnite because for my banana members / it's a mix of like skeletons. I thought it was a cool, really, really cool Lego set. So I'll be building that as well.
Oh, nice.
Love Lego.
Sounds fun. What about you, Disparu? What do you have going on?
I had a video summarizing the reviews of Red 1, the flop, which literally took in 3.7 million in previews in its first day, is projected to get 30 million in the first 3 days, and it cost $250 million to make. So that's not going well. Then I'm going to be covering Rachel Zegler's Apology, and then Gladiator 2 review, but probably when it's really thrown a wrench in the works when the Americans don't have access to it. It's like, I don't even know why you did that. That's really stupid. So that video will probably come out next week or something. Then I'm thinking of streaming Stalker 2. I've been looking forward to it for a while, and it got delayed. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out. I didn't even hear about it. I pulled it up. I'll watch the trailer later.
Ooh, chat's telling me that there is a DLC for Stellar Blade. Oh, which is one of my favorite
Really?
games this year. So I might be playing that then.
I like that they were
Oh.
like, okay, we're going to do patch things, we're going to add things, and like, oh, what are you going to add? Well, we're going to add squish physics. And I'm like, yes, that's what you need.
I love squish physics.
it was literally the picture was just like on a table. It was like, well, here we are.
On a table? What is this?
Well,
a
she was
cord?
like leaning on it, and so she had to put her arms together.
Oh, like
Squish
okay.
physics.
I thought she was laying on a table. I'm like, okay,
No,
that's a bit
no.
much.
4 days. In 4 days.
No, she kind of
4 days, guys.
And me, I have my gaming streams going on. Sunday night game tomorrow. It'll be back. I know last week we weren't able to do it, so the Scream stream is back tomorrow. And yeah, just stuff throughout the week. You guys know. You know where to find me. Anything else that you guys want to plug or? They're all drawn blinks. Okay.
I think there was something I forgot
you have
even
one more
what
thing?
I'd brought up previously. It wasn't that. I think I was just going for examples of what it was. And this one's not even an American band, but this is the difference between singing about how you've got a WAP and just twerking compared to Cat's Eyes Dance, which is what I would consider way more feminine. And both of those are American bands, not Korean ones. But the Cat's Eye one is way more Korean style. Like all the Korean stuff is that kind of style rather than just in-your-face twerking. And in general, I think we need to just roll things back to that style more than the road we've gone down.
Well,
Agreed.
I'm gonna send you guys over. It looks like Jay's an ant, so enjoy that.
Jason
Wait,
Bond?
he's a female?
He's an
You
no,
mean-
an ant like a bug.
Oh.
Oh,
So-
I thought you meant arms.
See, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I
I wasn't sure whether it was your accent. So can you say ant and then aunt? Like
And
how do you
aunt.
pronounce?
Aunt, aunt,
Right.
auntie, aunt.
I wasn't sure whether your accent would have said aunt as
Yeah,
ant anyway.
he's now
Auntie
a
Jay.
woman
He's
with,
an aunt
with
aunt.
snacks in his purse.
It's like a Rudai.
That's
He can't say
me, honestly.
when a Rudai says
"You want a
woof and
snack?"
wolf, it's the same word. And so he's like, I'm
Oh.
saying different words. Woof,
Woof,
woof, woof,
woof,
woof,
woof, woof, woof, woof.
Yeah, they both sound exactly the same. He's like, I'm saying different things.
And right before we leave, Justin with the gifted membership. Thank you, Justin.
Saucy.
All right,
So-
guys. We will see you next week and we'll all be home. So, yay. Oops, forgot to do this. All right, go say hi to Jay. Well, he's an ant.
Call him
bug.
Auntie J.
Yes.
Auntie
Say
Jay.
hi from Saucy Auntie. You got candy in your purse. Okay, we're out. Bye,
Were
guys.
those originals?
Yeah.
So,
Bye.